Available for a limited time, so visit 1819news.com and click events. That's 1819news.com.
Police in Coleman have arrested 3 men following an assault during the Rock the South Music Festival this last weekend. Those arrested are 20-year-old William Vinson, 21-year-old Zachary Taylor, and 20-year-old Chance Starling. All 3 are from Madison County. The victim in this assault is Reed Watts. The Alabama Historical Commission has started a list of landmarks here in the state that have historical value and may need some repairs and physical attention. The program is called Places in Peril, and it's conducted every year to identify locations and implement a solution in order to keep their historical value from being destroyed. The list will be open for suggestions and run until the end of October of this year. I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
This is Evan Bass for Montgomery Men's Health, and I've been helping men with low testosterone issues for over a decade. I've seen firsthand how low testosterone sneaks up on you, often so slowly that you just get used to all the issues that come along with being low T. If you're experiencing a low sex drive, if your energy just isn't what it used to be, if you're gaining unwanted fat or have issues with muscle gain in the gym, you very well may have low testosterone. At Montgomery Men's Health, we've successfully treated many men for low T, and the results can be life-changing. Many of our patients start putting on muscle again when they work out. They find they have more energy, they sleep better, and their sex lives often improve as well. So make an appointment today and see if low T therapy can make the difference for you. Your first appointment is only $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult with testosterone lab results in minutes. Call 334-440-3663. That's 334-440-3663 or go to montgomerymenshealth.com.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's News and Views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
After damning politicians uphill and down dale for many years as rogues, vagabonds, frauds, and scoundrels, I sometimes suspected, like everyone else, I often expect too much of them.
Up yours, woke moralists. We'll see who cancels who.
I like to do it at night when people aren't around.
This afternoon, we've seen a whole lot of table banging.
If you get a cough, please leave the room.
Fat broads and horse-faced lesbians.
Shut up, silly woman.
Anyway, I am very willing to let the American public judge my physical and mental my physical as well as my mental fitness, and
Hey, mister, I don't mean to be telling tales out of school, but there's a feller in there who'll pay you $10 if you sing into his can. I'm not here to make a record, you dumb cracker. They broadcast me out on the radio.
Joey Clark.
Welcome into News and Views in the afternoon. I'm your host, Joey Clark. And we got a full house today. Eddie is here.
I'm back.
Sky Mosley is here. Everybody good today?
Oh, much better today. Pretty good.
Yeah, okay.
Some of us a little sore.
Sore, huh? Why are you sore?
Had to do some work yesterday out in this god-awful heat.
Oh, I know you had some cement delivered.
Yeah, when you were mocking me yesterday, just so you know, at that point I was laying, I think, in the man cave on the floor dying from heat exhaustion. So you just mock me all you want while your best friend lies on the floor.
You know, I really love now that we're doing this on a live stream, that folks can see it on my Facebook page, that they can see it on News Talk's Facebook page, that they can see it on my YouTube. Just search Joey Clark Live. You can see it on my Twitter, @TheJoeyClark. But I'm so glad people can finally watch this radio show. You know why, Eddie?
Why is that, buddy?
Because now I can talk directly to the audience.
I see.
You see what I deal with here every damn day, right out the gate. We got a great show prepared. I put in all this sweat equity to find all these clips and all these stories for us to kick around, and I'm getting this attitude right out the gate.
Let me go ahead and say, I'm looking at you here on the UB tubes there. No makeup today, Joey?
No, I used your camera yesterday. I haven't worn makeup since I did Godspell, where I was Jesus.
And you were forced to, right? I mean,
no, I did. I walked off of the football field.
Yeah, I gave you an opportunity there, Joey.
What are you suggesting? I'm gay or something because I like musicals?
No,
that's a little 1950s Leave It to Beaver, but the dark side, where the dad hits the mom and is like, "No son of mine's gay." Like, what is this?
Unless you're, a goth guy, then I don't think you should be wearing the makeup.
Well, maybe I've got many personalities like Garth Brooks.
Oh boy!
But this is what we deal with. We're supposed to hop in with some serious news. We were hoping for a call with Jeff Deist. But I'm not seeing that call coming our way. So
you've seen the news, Joey.
Well, the 22-year high on interest rates.
Yeah.
And yet, despite that, you had a better than expected GDP growth number. And it's not like we're blowing and going. It's like 2.4%, something like that.
If that,
but it beat expectations because of all this consumer spending. And it just makes me wonder what the heck is going on with this economy. Because in one breath, you've got more consumer spending, you've got more investment by business, but then you've got a lot of folks who feel very hesitant, and then you're seeing flashing red lights. In fact, this is the largest inversion of the yield curve since right before the Great Depression. And usually that signals, you can watch it on a chart over the years, a function of time, that inversion happens, you're probably about to hit a deep, deep recession.
And what did the Fed do?
Oh, they upped interest rates again. Again, 22-year high on interest rates.
So this should show you right now. The government that we have there, the administration we have now, does not know what they're doing.
Well, and as I played,
do they?
I played yesterday from Peter St. Onge. He points out, the headline inflation's been coming down, and there's all sorts of factors to that. And I guess it's good news, and certainly, like used cars are finally relenting a little bit. There's all sorts of things
that whole different
because
reason,
of supply chain problems and so many other things. But he pointed this out. Core inflation is often what Jerome Powell and the Fed folks are looking at.
Okay.
And core inflation kind of strips away all those volatile things. It's a good marker for like how is our pulling back the money supply or pumping money into it. That's a good marker of okay, what's this doing to it? And that's barely budged.
Right.
It's still persistent. And in fact, the Fed, I think, is actually trying to bring down GDP numbers because they're trying to bring down price levels. But that core inflation is staying strong. It's almost like this zombie economy. Like, it just won't die. Like, it's deathly wounded. Yeah. Like, morbidly wounded. But no. We're just keep going strong.
A few more trillion fiat currency in the mix.
Right.
But that's what they're reporting. I'm a guy that lives in the real world economy. Mm-hmm. It's got the brakes. I mean, you can smell the brakes, folks. Really? You can smell the brakes burning.
Oh, from your vantage point.
Yes.
In your industry.
Yes.
Yeah.
And not that, just look around. I mean, look around. And what they don't call, or they're not factoring into inflation, is gas. Gas affects every single American. And it's steadily been on the rise for the last 2 weeks. I think we're at $3.20 a gallon. I mean, I see it. I live it. I'm out there every single day. I see people that are going for loans, and all of a sudden, Eddie, I thought we could get it at this rate. Now interest rates have suddenly gone up again.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, also in other news, Putin is saying their fighting has intensified. The New York Times reported last night that this is finally the main thrust of the Ukrainian offensive.
Oh.
And then Putin saying, well, it's been intense fighting, yes, and heavy losses for the Kyiv regime. I don't know. We can take that with a grain of salt.
I don't know who to believe.
I don't know who to believe either, but just from if the Ukrainians can, I'll put it this way, if the Ukrainians can pull this off, what they looks like they're planning, I think it'll be a miracle. It's happened before in human history.
Sure.
But it is...
It's a David and Goliath situation.
Yeah, it's unlikely. And even with all that money, all that support, doesn't look pretty there in that part of the world. McCarthy and the House Democrats are excited for this, are tiptoeing to a Biden impeachment.
You see that, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Think it's going to happen, Joe, or are they just going to...
I think they're going to just keep sneaking around, maybe tip that toe in the water, go, ooh, it's too hot. Too hot still. Ooh. Kevin, just hop on in. You'll get used to it. You won't get burned.
He shouldn't get burned, man. He loves the hot.
Now, and of course, I was seeing all this as it was breaking live yesterday, but this judge in the Hunter Biden case.
She doing okay today?
I think she's still
Anybody
healthy.
checked on her? She's good?
I think she's in good spirits,
okay.
Even euphoric. Like, she's not down at all.
Oh, boy.
Not depressed at all.
yet.
Yeah, right.
Well, she put certain demands on Hunter Biden that are just absolutely remarkable.
She refused to go along with the sweetheart little arrangement they had.
Right. Because she had not seen anything like this before.
Who has?
In terms of like what is actually part of the deal there. She was like, is this precedented at all? And this longtime prosecutor's like, no, this is very rare.
No.
Wait, so if he pleads guilty to a tax misdemeanor, then he doesn't get charged with anything else ever.
Can I plead guilty right now immediately to something like that?
So not only did the deal fall apart, the judge issued this yesterday, requirements for first son Hunter, and we've got a new threat. You know how Anna Navarro of The View was saying, it's just the story of a father's love.
Right.
Joe loves Hunter. Well, we've got now Claire McCaskill. She's doing a variation on that tune.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we'll play that in a second.
Nice.
It's just the story of a father's love for his son, and at that, a son who's an addict, who is addicted to love.
Tragic.
If that's what you want to call whoring about, I guess you can, Claire McCaskill. But here's what the judge said to Hunter. Has to look for a job. You got to go get a job, you bum.
Yeah, my dad's a president.
And stay away from drugs.
All right, my dad's a president.
That's nuts.
I don't understand the problem here.
So let's see. And this is like, if he doesn't do it, you got.
Yeah, that's what I'm curious.
It's like that Fred Armisen, meme. Right to jail.
Right to jail.
Right to jail.
Normally, under conditions like this, there will be some testing involved.
Right. That's my next question. Are we doing the testing? And is it one of them tests where they stand in the room with you?
Ooh. Well, here's what she laid out.
It is. Let me tell you, it is.
Let's read what she laid out here. The president's son has to look for a job. If you don't find a job, right to jail.
Right to jail.
Lay off alcohol and drugs. If you don't do that, Hunter, right to jail.
Right to jail.
Not to buy or possess a firearm. What about my Second Amendment? Right to jail.
Right to jail.
And submit to random drug tests in exchange for not being arrested.
Looks like I'm going to jail.
Yeah, I think that's...
I'm
addicts,
an addict.
A man can change his stars. Addicts can change their ways, and sometimes they're some of the greatest redemption stories. But do we think that Hunter Biden has gone through that redemptive arc?
No, if he was smart, he'd just go ahead and go to jail. He can get better drugs in jail anyway.
Well, maybe they'll send
probably
him to
better
meetings.
treatment.
I'm waiting for the next clause. Perhaps he'll be required to attend some meetings.
Oh, I don't like that.
That's certainly a good idea.
Now, if Biden can obey the conditions of his release, the gun charge against him would be dropped. But if he fails to adhere to the terms, the felony gun charge carries a sentence of up to 10 years.
Is it illegal for us to bet on this now?
I don't think it's illegal. But, we probably shouldn't do it on the show.
Okay. No. All right, well, off-air conversation then.
Right. Yeah, we can get an office pool going. Do we still use cash? Anybody got cash?
Cash app.
Bitcoin? Anybody?
Oh, Bitcoin?
The defense team expected Biden to plead guilty to 2 tax-related charges on Wednesday in exchange for dropping the felony gun charge. But a tumultuous scene unfolded in the federal court in Wilmington, Delaware. Well, that helps make sense. Well, no wonder. Hunter has a drug problem. He grew up in Delaware. How many people aren't on drugs in Delaware? None. That's the answer. It's a miserable place.
You live in Delaware. Got to be a trade out, right?
Yeah. I don't know why I'm so angry about Delaware. It's just got to tell the truth.
You do a business there or something that didn't go well?
But this judge delayed the ruling on the agreement until she receives additional briefings from the government and the defendant's counsel. Okay, well, that's the latest in the Hunter Biden. But there was this moment where Claire McCaskill, and I just love these excuses that are being made. Okay. Like, you've got the Biden dead to rights. These whistleblowers are very convincing that have come out.
Yep.
The documentation, work by people like Peter Schweizer, very convincing. And yet you'll still get the spin. And here's my point, folks. I think a lot of partisan politics that we see, like all this back and forth we're about to see, especially in a presidential race, it's like one part WWE professional wrestling, and then another part like porn for people who want power.
Right.
Just like porn is to sex.
Yeah.
Usual partisan politics is to actually, holding power and doing something.
I see.
Yeah, I think you're not engaging actually in government. You're just watching a screen and getting off on it or something.
What'd you do last night?
You want to watch the movie?
They cloned Tyrone?
No, I haven't watched that yet.
Missing out.
Yeah. But this is, like, when you have that in mind, you're like, this is, like, you're not going to have a baby by watching a bunch of porn. Right. And I don't think you actually get power and run and rule a country by watching what we see on corporate media all the live long day. I think it's the illusion to make you feel powerful. Kind of tickles like, ooh, I'm powerful. I'm part of this cause. And it's like, I don't know if it's doing much for you.
But are they really part of the cause, or are they just there as long as they are, I don't know, towing somebody else's chain? There seems to be no honor amongst thieves, I guess.
Right. Well, no honor amongst thieves, whatever you want to call it. But here we've got Claire McCaskill doing the song and dance. Just remember, one part kayfabe, WWE style, and another part porn. Go, take it away, Claire.
What accusations and arguments do you think they're going to make, given this didn't go exactly as planned today?
Well, they're going to keep doing what they've been doing. They are going to try to indict a father for loving his son who has been addicted to drugs and or alcohol, and without evidence of the father doing anything other than loving that son.
All Joe has done is love his son. Everybody together. All Joe has done is love his son.
I don't, Joe.
You love him so much.
I mean, look at these two.
Not
in the ultimate position.
That's not love.
But look at these two. They're in love. Is this an excuse I can use?
No.
No.
But it's like
you have friends around you that won't let you use that excuse.
So I can't go behind the now defunct Burger King on Carter Hill and smoke some crack. And if I get caught, I can't say my father loves me. Don't prosecute me.
No.
That doesn't work that way?
I mean, you could say that, your freedom of speech and all, but no, they're still going to put you in the car and take you downtown.
His father's the ultimate enabler.
Right. That's what I'm saying. He doesn't love
this
him.
in motion.
Yeah.
Right.
He made him the family syndicate bagman.
I mean,
exposing him to drugs, money, limitless cash supplies. Who couldn't predict how this would turn out?
Well, y'all remember that scene in The Godfather?
Yeah.
And like, look at these two. Wouldn't they fit right in? And Claire McCaskill, just doing cover. And the cover story literally is, Joe loves Hunter and you're mean. That's essentially, why are you being so mean?
Yeah.
Why are you bringing up all these dirty sins of him? Why are you being so mean? Yeah, but that scene in The Godfather, where they've got the guy coming to actually testify, to get the Corleone family, like, they're done. They're dead to rights. We got this guy who's caught up in the network. Like him going, oh yeah, we know each other from the olive oil business. The olive oil. Like Joe and Hunter should just talk about olive oil. It'd be a better cover story than I love Hunter. It's just absurd.
But it's the same kind of love that Joe's family has for him. Everybody knows when Joe started running years ago, he had no business running. His family should have stepped in. Yeah. So I guess it doesn't surprise me. That's what they call love in that family.
Yeah, that's a sick kind of love.
Yeah, it's a weird time. And then, I mean, we've got plenty more. Sickness, also just old age. Did y'all see what happened with McConnell yesterday?
Yeah.
Yeah, glitch.
Pretty awful. Yeah.
It's like the Matrix.
You remember about 5 or 6 years ago, it was an anonymous person, that staff member there said there are so many drugs given to these guys every morning just to keep them eyes open, just to keep them halfway awake. There's proof of it right there.
Oh, sure.
They have no business being in power.
We've got another one today where Dianne Feinstein.
That's no problem.
Like, you could hear her aide behind her saying, just say I. We're doing a vote, Dianne. Just say I. And she just goes off on this long-winded speech, and everybody's like, no. And it shouldn't be funny, but it is a little comical, the hubris of this, that you can't let go of power until you're dead.
But does she even know she's in power? Same with Joe. Do they even know? And again, I don't blame them as much as I blame the people behind them. Because they should have had enough love for country and love for that person to say, hey, you know what? It's time to sit down. It's time to let somebody else take over.
Not how it works.
Right. So, to me, they're bigger traitors than anybody.
We'll get to that in a second. But 272-9228 if you want to get in on the program. Also coming up, Nancy Mace's talking about how she had to, she brought something up at a national prayer breakfast. To that. There's a reason I've brought my voice low.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to hearing from Representative Mace. She's the one who yesterday at the UAP, what used to be called UFO hearing, she said, you have non-human biologics?
I did.
And my reaction was, what does biologics mean? I guess they mean like
DNA?
bodies, like alien bodies.
DNA?
Is that what it means?
Yeah. Biological material.
Or do they take a black light in there? Like, what is non-human biologics?
And who's doing the testing?
Right. We talking about jellyfish here or something that's actually extraterrestrial? How about this? Let's hit a break. We'll come back. More news and views in the afternoon after this.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Hey, we're talking to Tammy. Tammy, why does everybody loves Mama's Produce?
Goodness, there's a whole lot of reasons to love Mama's Produce. We got ice cream. Man, have we got some fresh peas. We've got fresh limas. We've got watermelons, tomatoes. There's a whole lot of reasons to love Mama's.
And Tammy, I understand you got some fantastic watermelons.
Actually, right now I've got in some yellow meat, some sugar babies, some seedless, and I've got some Jubilees that just came in.
And of course, Tammy, you keep everybody up to date on your Facebook page.
We try to stay engaged on Facebook, and if I don't answer you on Facebook or Messenger, I'll sit down at the end of the day and go through them.
Tammy, that sounds good. Now tell us where you are.
We're at 1154 South Memorial Drive in Prattville. It's about a half a mile south of the Midtown McDonald's, attached to Prattville Farm Center and right across from Pick Enterprise. Yep, we close at 5:30 Monday through Friday and Saturday at 2.
Everybody loves Mama's.
Finally, the Toyota store that gives you more. The all-new Toyota of Montgomery is here with all-new management, all-new team, and all-new great attitude. Get more from your Toyota store. Over 400 new Toyotas are coming in hot and filling up our lot. Get your favorite new Toyota model, like the 2023 Toyota Camry, Corolla, RAV4, Highlander, Tacoma, Tundra, and more. All with our lowest grand opening prices and biggest grand opening savings right now. And come see how our new team is committed to serve Montgomery and give you the best service in the River region. And we'll always pay you more money for your trade-in. Find out how much and schedule an appraisal online at ToyotaMontgomery.com. You get more. You save more. A lot more. Get your new Toyota today before someone else does. And discover the all-new way to buy a Toyota at Toyota Montgomery. Shop online at ToyotaMontgomery.com.
Is your cell phone or iPad cracked, broken, or not working right? Don't let the big carrier stores sucker you into a new $1,100 device. Let XI Repair fix your device today. XI Repair fixes cell phones, computers, laptops, iPads, game consoles, drones, and more. Their certified technicians fix hundreds of devices every day. When your device needs care, call XI Repair, 334-777-1234, or Google XI Repair.
This is an important notice to consumers facing $10,000 or more in credit card debt, medical bills, or other unsecured debt. You may not be required to pay it all back because there are special programs now in effect that will significantly reduce the amount you will owe if you qualify. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. These programs, which the credit card companies like to keep secret, exist to aid American consumers struggling with overwhelming credit card debt by offering tremendous savings and real debt relief. Accredited Debt Relief has established a special hotline for you to call and learn what savings you qualify for. They've helped qualify consumers with over $1 billion in debt and are A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. So don't wait. Get the relief you need during these hard economic times. For this free information, call the Accredited Debt Relief Hotline now. Call 800-640-0077. 800-640-0077. That's 800-640-0077.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
News and talk without the static. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. I'm your host, Joey Clark. This part of the program brought to you by Josh and Leslie Ryder there at Dillon Rings. You still got your friendship
Does a
bracelet
fat baby
there?
fart?
I suppose they do.
Then I still got my bracelet.
I got mine on too.
All right.
We're still best buddies.
That's right. Although yesterday was iffy with all that was going on.
Yeah.
I was worried I was going to, at the end of the day, it would just be gone. But
outside working like a man?
Yeah. Like an old man, but yeah.
But it stayed on through thick and thin. All
yeah.
right, I like this. No, and it's called permanent jewelry, folks. And they can come to you. It's a great idea for parties. Maybe like a wedding shower, baby shower, and you can actually have little charms put on there. We haven't done that yet, right?
Not yet.
But they can come to you and like in person there. Say at one of your parties, they can solder this on, and it can be ripped off.
Oh yeah.
Like if
you put some power to it, yeah.
Right. But it is on there, and you can shower with it. Just go about your day, and it's a great way to say, "Hey, I'm good friends with this guy," or "I love this lady," or whatever you want to say.
Like I said, the Bunko group.
Right. Yeah, commemorate the group or the bowling team.
There you go. Get some pins on there.
Or maybe, do we have putt around here? Golf carts?
I don't know if we do anymore.
I think we need to start.
I wish we had go-kart racing because I would love to put you on the track.
I would whoop you. Anyway, check out permanent jewelry there at Dillon Rings. And, of course, they are a full-service jewelry shop. They can do repairs, custom design work, cleanings, appraisals. They do it all.
They do it all.
Josh and Leslie are fantastic folks. So check them out today. You can always go to DillonRings.com or, well, just go by there, 119 Brown Springs Road. That's the best way to deal with them. We'll tell you more about Dillon Rings and the team over there a little later in the program. But be sure if you stop by, tell them you heard about them here on News and Views in the afternoon. Let's go to Junebug on line one. Hey, Junebug.
Yeah, I'm still trying to not be crying about that message about Biden in love with his son.
Yeah, that's all this is. You're just picking on a person who loves his son.
I'm just about to cry right now. But you know what's been on my desk for the last 18 years?
What's that?
It says the words Dilligaff. I think y'all know what that means, don't you?
I do.
All right, yeah. Have a good one.
You too. Off-air conversation.
Right.
Oh, okay. 272-9228. Now, I promised y'all, and this is, in a second, we'll get to all the Trump indictments now looming. It seems to be getting even worse with the January 6th indictment hanging over his head, and as well as conspiracy to commit election fraud there in Georgia.
Yeah.
Fannie is after Donnie.
So the votes are going to be up again.
Right. We'll get to all that in a second, but I have to say, and I don't want the fair sex out there listening or watching to take this the wrong way.
Okay.
But I'm telling you, these women in Congress are out of control. They're out of control. Somebody needs to rein them in.
Or something, Joey?
And I'm not saying it's men who needs to rein them in, but I don't care if it's men.
The men need to rein them in, huh?
No, I don't care who it is, but these women in Congress, they're out of control. And I'll prove it to you.
Okay.
This was at a prayer breakfast.
Uh-oh.
At a national prayer breakfast.
Uh-oh.
What do you do at a national prayer breakfast?
Well, we pray.
Right. And like one of those long prayers where you're bow your heads, and then the preacher starts getting into a good point, and you look up and go, oh, no, I looked up. Put your head back down. Just listen to him. Don't look at him, even though he's very charismatic. But, yeah, that's what you do. It's a national prayer breakfast, so you eat breakfast and you pray. And I guess other folks decide to speak. But this is Representative, I believe she's from North Carolina, Nancy Mace. And, she had a special message to kick off the prayer breakfast, talk about how much she cared about it, that she would not divert from her schedule in the morning.
Oh, boy.
Telling you folks, these women, they're out of control.
I want to thank you for pulling this together.
another year, another standing room only event. And when I woke up this morning at 7, I was getting picked up at 7:45. Patrick, my fiance, tried to pull me by my waist over this morning in bed, and I was like, no, baby, we don't got time for that this morning. I got to get to the prayer breakfast, and I got to be on time, and a little TMI, but
Now tell us more.
He can wait. I'll see him later tonight.
Really?
Tell us more, Nancy. Man. It's just a national prayer breakfast.
What do you think she carries in her purse that belonged to him?
Is there 2 of them?
Cojones.
What? I guessed it.
What?
Don't worry about him. He'll have his chance later. No, don't degrade your husband in front of everybody
Eddie,
like
us
that.
men got to stick together.
Jeez Louise.
To quote James Brown, we got to let the ladies know what they can do for us. Man can't be nothing no more. And so all of a sudden, as I'm saying, trying to point out these women are out of control, you're sitting there blaming the man.
No, I'm not blaming the man. I'm blaming her. She should not have said those things in front of everybody. Like I know she was trying to make light, but
how does that have to do anything with the prayer breakfast?
Right.
Your morning sex schedule and arrival times. It's just
it goes to show that not everybody can go without a script.
Right.
Or should.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
We do have to hit a break, but Sky, you tell us about the Alabama Gazette first.
The Alabama Gazette is your hometown conservative newspaper, published right here in Montgomery for over 23 years, serving central Alabama proper, under the banner of God, family, and country. That's what the Gazette has always been about: pro-life, pro-family, pro-American. I have some good news, bad news with the Alabama Gazette right now. The bad news, I can't offer you a new subscription. The good news, the Alabama Gazette is hiring.
All right.
Yes, Gazette is in need of primarily a print layout artist, but also a general office help. Most people could qualify for that. Take this number down, 657-7736. And perhaps you're semi-retired, retired, or would just like to get back into the workforce. It's an excellent opportunity, especially for someone who's an aspiring writer. It's your opportunity to have your work looked at, read, and perhaps even published. So give them a call, the Alabama Gazette, 657-7736, an excellent employment opportunity.
Appreciate it, Sky. Y'all stay tuned. More news and views in the afternoon after this quick break. And I love that folks can now comment on the live stream.
Yeah.
And we're getting folks that we didn't even know. I mean, of course, Eric the dog's out there asking, how you feeling, Sky?
I've decided I want to live. I feel a little better.
You want to live?
That's good, man.
Yeah.
Well, I'll check in with you tomorrow morning, see if you still want to.
It's
a day-by-day thing.
No, I'm arcing nicely. Through
Coming back.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, what's that Godspell song? Day by day.
Yeah.
Day by
Come on,
day.
sing it, man. Yes.
And then some fella named Justin Muffin says, idiots.
That's a little bit of a broad term. But,
I accept that, Justin.
Well, like it's the first time you've ever been called an idiot.
Well, and I appreciate his Hulk Hogan, like, getting choked out profile pic. Like, you might think we're idiots, but I love you, sir. More news and views after this.
Joey Clark.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Picture this. A serene, tranquil resting place surrounded by nature's beauty. A place where memories are cherished and loved ones are forever remembered. We're talking about your final resting place, and it's never too early to start planning for it. Pineview Memorial Gardens in Wetumpka has been family owned and operated for over 55 years. We understand the importance of pre-need planning. You can make decisions that reflect your personal wishes. You can choose the perfect location, whether it's a serene garden, a peaceful mausoleum, or a place in our cremation wall. Pre-need planning alleviates the burden from your loved ones during a time of grief. By planning ahead, you can secure today's prices, protecting yourself and your family from future cost increases. So why wait? Contact Pineview Memorial Gardens in Wetumpka today. Your final resting place should be a reflection of your unique journey. Take control of your future and make pre-need planning a priority. Pineview Memorial Gardens in Wetumpka, where memories live on.
Hi, this is Bo Goodson from the Goodson Group with your Real Estate Minute. If you've ever considered owning rental property, this information is for you. For years, I've been finding attractive investment homes for real estate investors to buy with the intention of renting the property for many years to come. Owning rental property and letting tenants pay the expenses of owning through rental payments to a management company such as ours is what we do very well. We have successfully managed thousands of homes for property owners over the years. Our typical tenant stays 3 to 5 years or longer in the same property, and some have stayed over a decade in the same home. During this time, the landlord is building equity and wealth and is providing reasonably priced homes that are well cared for and provided needed shelter and homes to good people. Loyal clients and wonderful tenants that know how to take care of the property both inside and out helps everyone. For a complete packet of what we do, please call Bo Goodson at the Goodson Group, 221-2883. That's 221-2883.
Hey, this is Benji with Marguerite's. The great thing about gold and diamonds is that we can make a ring that you have wore for 20 years look like the day you bought it. For example, if you have a white gold ring or rings that you have worn for some years, you can take it to a jewelry store and they will charge $150 to $250 to re-rhodium, polish, and clean your rings to get that look. You ask, what is rhodium? Rhodium is a very expensive, precious metal that jewelers use to coat white gold rings to make them extremely light, of course, to make them look brand new again. Marguerite's has decided to brighten your summer with the complimentary rhodium and polish of your rings. As of today, until August the 5th will be here before you know it. Bring in all your rings at Marguerite's. We will rhodium them at no charge whatsoever. So don't miss out on this great deal, because at Marguerite's, of course, we make it. We really make it. We're open 7 days a week for your convenience. For all your jewelry needs, we are located at 8163 Vaughn Road in the Preparatory Shopping Center. So come see us at Marguerite's. Let us make all your rings look like the day you bought them.
Visit Marguerite's now through August 5th for your complimentary rhodium and polish.
Rich Thomas Weather, a service of Riverside Chevrolet Wetumpka. If it's Chevy, it's Riverside. Best price, best selection. Check them out on the web at riversideusa.net.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Hi, everybody. Our extended heat wave rolls on not only through the end of July, but at least the first week in August. Triple-digit heat indices, minimal rain chances. Today's high temperature around 98 with the heat index 102 to 105. Abundant sunshine, rain chances 20% or less today and Friday. The actual high temperature on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday will be in the upper 90s with a heat index as high as 105. That's the danger range. Widely scattered pop-up storms here and there Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but they will be isolated. That means not many to go around. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
CB&S Bank has digital banking solutions to help you keep up. Check balances, pay bills, and much more. Learn more at cbsbank.com. Charges and fees may apply from your cellular service provider. Contact your service provider for information. Member FDIC.
The River Region's first and only news talk station on FM. Live, local talk. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. I'm your host, Joey Clark. Eddie Bader here.
In the house.
Sky Mosley here.
Rock and roll.
And, well, before we get back into the swing of things, Mo Brooks popping up in the national news.
Yeah, how's Mo doing?
All places, sour.
Oh.
Seems like
surprise.
Bitter. Yeah, like he took a sip of some skunky beer.
Ouch.
And he just, he's talking about Trump.
Well, if anybody's got a right to be, it's Mo Brooks.
Right.
I'll give you that. He was done wrong.
Right.
By the voters of this state.
Right.
And by Donald Trump.
Well, we'll get into that in a second. Okay. It's going to be a good discussion.
All right.
But first, this part of the program, brought to you by Montgomery Men's Health. So, men, you need to listen up. Especially if you've been experiencing low testosterone symptoms. Now, they can help you with ED there at Montgomery Men's Health.
Right.
They can help you with, what's the other one? PE?
PE, yep.
You know what I'm talking about, folks. Or they can help you maybe check your prostate health. And actually, when you do a blood draw to check your testosterone numbers, you're also going to get a PSA number.
Right.
Great marker for prostate health. But if you are a man, you're in the river region, and in particular, you're experiencing the symptoms of low testosterone. That could be lack of energy, motivation, drive. Could be you're falling asleep right after you eat. So now you've been skipping lunch, but you're still tired even more because you're not getting any food in. No sex drive to speak of. You're just like never in the mood.
Ain't no good there, Joey.
Just don't feel like you used to. You're haunted by past dreams of your younger self that could go all day, all night without petering out. So why not go by Montgomery Men's Health today? Make an appointment when you call them at 440-3663. And for only $99 in about an hour, you can know your testosterone numbers. And if your problem is, in fact, low T, they have treatments there at Montgomery Men's Health that can truly change your life. Higher energy, better gains in the gym. Brother. Better mental clarity, improved sleep patterns. You might even notice an increased sex drive.
Ain't nothing wrong with that, Joey.
Well said, Eddie.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with it. In fact, there's a lot right.
Yeah.
So call them up today, 440-3663. That's 440-3663. Or go to MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com and be sure to tell them you heard about them here on News and Views in the afternoon. So the story is that Mo Brooks, and this is actually something Mo told us on the campaign trail, but he's sticking to it ever since he got dropped by Donald Trump.
Right.
He has really been sticking to this story and not shutting up about it by any means at all. For instance, if you look at this, folks, former lawmaker says Trump asked him to overturn the 2020 election, but so far special counsel hasn't contacted him. So you can see him there. There's Mo Brooks initially next to Trump, smiling.
Oh, the way they were.
Oh, that's actually at the now notorious Coleman rally. That big muddy mess.
Yeah.
It all went wrong.
That almost turned into World War III behind the scenes. I think that's the moment where Katie Britt was like, it's all going to be mine now. You know, like John Lovitz in the wedding scene? Right. Sorry, Katie. I apologize. I didn't mean to compare you to John Lovitz.
By no means is she a John Lovitz.
Right, but you know, when he was going crazy, it's like, okay, Mo's going crazy. I'm going to win this thing. And it really was the moment where, I mean, it wasn't just Mo, though, the crowd turned on. They turned on Trump.
Yeah.
But here's my argument. I've already written about this. I did not pull any punches on Mo. I think it's sour grapes. And here's my point of view, Sky. I think he had it in the bag. He had that massive lead. He had the Trump endorsement, and he rested on his laurels. I watched Mike Durant come try to talk to us and be in this area more than Mo. Early on, I'm talking early on. This is before the Coleman rally, right after the Coleman rally. Katie Britt had billboards all over the damn state.
Everywhere.
Was hitting media all over the place. And Mo, I'm like, we interviewed Mo very early when he first announced, and then we didn't
for a while, we didn't
hear from him for like half a year.
Yep.
And it made me go, well, what the heck is going on here? I just don't think he did a good job of campaigning and reaching people.
The prevent defense never works. And
Correct.
Exactly.
That's
Correct.
exactly what they did. I don't know if they were trying to save money.
Well, and this
or
is
just lay low and hold the lead.
And that's what I don't know. But I think he also had miscues in the way he talked about, say, corporate interest. There's a way to do it without just saying alpha sucks. Because I don't think that goes very far in the state. Even if I agree with you, Mo. Like, that's not how you message that. Like, come on, man. So, the one thing, though, that did set me off, and I still feel this to this day, Mo just happened to be the example.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I got to know him. I think he's a nerd.
Nice
I like
guy.
the guy, though.
I like the guy.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
You're right.
You know,
we sat here and watched
right.
him have donuts and Coke.
No,
He's my kind of guy.
It wasn't just donuts and Coke. I counted. The man had 6.
Oh, yeah.
Krispy Kreme donuts.
He likes those donuts.
Washed it down with a 12-ounce Coca-Cola.
Yeah. Well, and he told me, and I don't mind sharing this
He's
on
not
air.
a big man.
I hope he doesn't mind me sharing this. Is like the last time I interviewed him, it was right after Trump pulled the endorsement, and he looked injured from it. As you probably would be.
Yeah, who wouldn't?
But his wife was here, and he kind of, gently grabbed his wife's necklace when I was talking to him and said, Joey, look at this. And it was like a clear, almost disc or container. It had a bunch of loose charms in there. He said, that's for each one of my grandchildren. I'm going to be just fine. Yeah. I'm like, okay. Yeah. Like, I don't have a problem with the Mo personally. It's just that Mo became the example of something I've gotten to where I get so frustrated with it. I am so tired of conservatives saying, well, the reason I didn't win is because the people are dumb. The reason I didn't win is because the people are unprincipled. Hey, you might be right. They might be dumb and unprincipled.
No excuse.
But your failure to win, your failure to be an effective campaigner, your fecklessness to actually change things in Washington, D.C. should not be blamed on the people.
No, take some ownership.
And I'm so tired of that sort of conservatism that's yelling, in front of history and thwart history and yelling stop. Why don't you actually stop it?
That's so many of our politicians. When they lose, instead of owning their loss, it's everybody else's fault except their own.
Right. Or it's like Rand Paul's and Kevin McCarthy. You remember the Epstein thing with Amy Robach?
Yeah.
And Kevin McCarthy said, we're going to get to the bottom of this firing of this woman who leaked this Epstein story. And they sent a strongly worded letter to all the news.
How'd that go, Joe?
Yeah, nothing happened out of that.
You
And
know
they keep
why?
doing this, whether it's Dr. Fauci or so many other folks that actually run the government. They're untouchable.
They are.
And so many of our leaders are just feckless, flaccid, so to speak. They should go see Montgomery Men's Health. Maybe it'll help.
Definitely.
Let's go to Red Top. Hey, Red Top.
Hey, Red Top.
Really, if you just lose inspiration, all you need is a Russian girlfriend. That'll solve that problem right there, buddy. It'll nip it in the bud.
I think that's worth looking into.
Natasha? Can you find me a Natasha?
Sure.
Oh man, you should have seen the redhead girlfriend of my Russian girlfriend was named Elena.
Oh.
And her name was Elena Vladimira was her middle name. Now, in Russia, the girl's middle name is the father's first name, by the way, usually. But anyway, Natasha was gorgeous. Damn, she was married. But Lord have mercy, she of course. And to hear Elena and Natasha talk together was just a treat, guys. You think Boris and Natasha were entertaining on Bullwinkle. I went through this every damn day with these two. It was so entertaining.
See, but I'm not that big of a fan of vodka.
Really?
These are Rosé.
Oh, really?
No.
What do they
no,
drink?
it's filthy, and they call it vodka, by the way. There is no
Vodka.
damn Z. It's
Vodka.
vodka.
Okay.
And so, no, Americans distort everything. Like on the show this morning, Scott was telling me that French women don't shave their arms and they smell. I can say, you ain't never been to the Riviera.
French women or the roller derby. You never know. It's a fun time, though. I'm not knocking the roller derby.
You know what,
people don't want to shave, they don't have to.
Hey, you get on the European diet, you don't stink, do you? Okay. Now, Mo Brooks, he should have never said nasty stuff about Donald Trump. All they had to do was run that commercial, and that pissed a lot of people off. So,
yeah, but then I think the shoe can be put on the other foot. I think this whole idea of Mo saying that people are I was betrayed. Trump will do this constantly. It's like these people, like Rex Tillerson is a fool. Sloppy Steve Bannon got too big for his britches. You go down the line of all Reince Priebus, all these folks that Trump hired and then fired. At a certain point, it's like, you're the one hiring them, man. You're the one who endorsed Mo Brooks, and you're the one who laid back in the cut. It just laid low, and then as soon as Katie Britt was a sure thing, you're like, I endorse Katie. It's like, and I don't appreciate that either. I thought it came across as cowardly and kind of weaselly. Excuse me, pardon me.
This is entertainment. His job is firing people. If everybody didn't recall what his business was before with The Apprentice. Now, may I make a quick comment, Scott, and some other people. They keep telling me, we talk about clubs, we were talking about Brodigans. You don't remember that. About the time you were born, it was a killer club.
Oh, it's a great live entertainment at that.
And so, Joey, this has happened more than once. These people say, hey, you remember such and such at the club? And I go, he was the bartender. And I go, no, I don't remember any of the bartenders, but I remember all the waitresses. That's the difference between a patron and a musician, especially a redhead musician. No, Paula and Candy were gorgeous waitresses at Brodigans, and I don't remember anybody else.
Nobody else.
Roll Tide, go Trump, guy.
Later.
Appreciate it, Red Top. Now, for folks who don't know the specifics of this, our former Representative Mo Brooks is, quote-unquote, mildly surprised that Special Counsel Jack Smith's office has not sought a meeting with him to discuss the accusations that former President Donald Trump urged him to help, quote-unquote, rescind the 2020 election and violate the U.S. Constitution and federal law. Here's a quote. Yeah, if they asked me to, I'd explain what I know about. Whether it's relevant or material, I'm not sure, Brooks said. I was shocked Trump was so blatant about it, illegal conduct. And Brooks told us this on the airwaves, right after that Trump endorsement was dropped. And I was shocked by it. Is it Trump? He was literally asking if you get a majority in the Senate to just rescind the 2020 election.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I always thought that was kind of maybe it was a loyalty test, but I thought that was a ridiculous idea.
Took it as, but
right. So the fact that the special counsel isn't picking up on that, I wonder what receipts Mo Brooks could bring. Again, this is another issue. It's not just with Mo; it's with a lot of folks.
Yeah.
They say a thing, and then
can you prove it?
Right.
Yep.
And if you want to just commentate and point things out, hey, become a talk radio host. 272-9228. Let's go to, you said this is Harris?
Yeah.
First time caller?
I believe he's a first time caller.
Hey, Harris.
No, I've called before.
No, how you doing, Harris?
I've called before. And I called on this exact subject before about Mo Brooks and Katie Britt.
Mm-hmm.
Even with Trump's endorsement, I think Mo Brooks set up in North Alabama kind of like a troll under a bridge and kind of kept saying, hey, Donald Trump's endorsed me, and didn't do a thing. And he got his ass whipped. He got outworked 100%.
Yes, he did.
That's it. Ground game.
I think a lot of people agree with you on that.
Well, and I had criticism for Katie, especially when she, how she wanted to debate so much, and then Mike Durant essentially got whooped, and she's like, and Mo's like, yeah, let's debate. She goes, I'm not going to debate you in a big old circus. And I'm like, okay, that's a little rich, but to her credit, and that campaign's credit, they did work their tails off.
Brilliant machine.
Very well run campaign.
Oh, man, she had name ID like nobody's business.
Mm-hmm.
And the things they did that didn't apply to her.
Right.
It didn't stick to Katie Britt.
Nope.
But there was some dirty dealings going on there.
Oh, yeah.
But we had 66 out of 67 counties?
Yeah.
I believe so.
Yeah. That's a butt whooping.
That's how I would take it, yeah.
Well, and again, folks can, like, you can say this guy, dirty dealing behind the scenes, or these associates aren't good. It's like, okay, if you don't like them, beat them.
Right.
If not, then go kick
That's
rocks.
what we say to Republicans all the time. We're getting our butt beat by the Democrats. Let's do something about it. Let's beat them. Don't sit here with your hands in your pocket saying they're cheating.
And honestly, maybe this is cynical of me. I mean, I've never been accused of being that. But I think if you really want to get to the top of politics, you're going to have to do some dirty stuff.
Oh, no doubt.
It's just the nature of the beast, sadly.
Or you can sit back and complain about it.
That's it.
From loser corner.
That's it.
Well,
all right, fellas, thank you.
Hey, thank you, Harris.
Appreciate it, Eric. 272-9228. Let's go to Jim, who's been patient.
Right.
Hey, Jim.
How you doing, Jim?
Oh, I'm just, it is not working.
What you been watching lately?
Well, right now I got Gunsmoke on.
Good.
Matt Dillon.
I did switch over to Fox just for a minute, and these 24-hour news things. They got a reporter up in New York outside with Mike. She goes, yeah, and it's 100 heat index over 100 degrees.
Oh,
which is
Lord.
common for this area for all the time. And she's going, it's hot out here. I mean,
Breaking
here you are
news.
in July, standing outside of New York saying, it's
Right.
hot out here. Breaking news.
Water is wet.
It's hot
We'll be
in
back
July.
with more after this.
And then the next story is sharks. I mean, they are so
Dangerous.
desperate to come up with a new something.
And in other news, Santa likes cookies.
Yeah. Shoot your television. I'm telling you, man.
Oh,
Love
it's
your brother.
terrible.
Shoot your TV.
Yeah, but I want to say something real quick. I saw the clip of Mitch McConnell, which is very scary.
Mm-hmm.
He looked like he had a stroke to me.
That or TIA, as
that-
somebody said, like
Yeah,
a minor
he
one.
had his brain just went shorted out there for a minute.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, what's going to happen in about 6 months when Joe's standing up there and something like that happens to him? And they just
Right. Well, it happened.
off.
I've got the
It seems to
clip.
happen on the regular with
It
him.
happened with Feinstein today.
Oh, yeah,
Apparently
right.
you can hear her staffer in the back going, just say aye. They're just doing a vote in a committee hearing. Just say aye, Diane, just say aye. She goes on this long-winded speech. And you're like, these folks don't even know where they are half the time or what's going on.
I mean, we got people up in the Congress that need to be in an assisted living place.
Well, they essentially are. I mean,
They have no
everything they do
business.
up there, they are literally fed hand to mouth. They do nothing for themselves at all.
Yeah. But that thing with Mitch McConnell, that was real. That's the first time I've ever seen that happen to somebody live, and that was, I mean, everybody just stood there at first because they thought he was just kind of collecting his thoughts, but then he just didn't move.
No.
And he didn't speak. That's the thing that I thought maybe he had a stroke. He didn't speak. And then they just turned him, and you saw him, he just kind of shuffled off. And
when he came back, the press corps said, "You're right." He goes, "I just talked to President Biden. I told him we got a little sandbagged, and you feeling okay?" "Yeah, I'm fine." Okay.
He needs to immediately retire.
Right.
Or he's just going to drop dead and stand there that was really scary.
Well,
and what's scarier is that there's people up there making decisions for this country that are not much better shape, and that's just pathetic.
It's absolute truth.
Well, I appreciate the call, Jim.
Yeah, y'all have a good one.
You too, Jim.
272-9228. This part of the program brought to you by James Cole and Cole Plumbing.
Cole Plumbing. Oh, yeah.
Looking at ColePlumbing.com right now, folks. 279-8919 is that number. You should go ahead and save it in your phone. So if you do have an emergency, you don't have to go searching. You just go to your contacts. There's Cole Plumbing, and they can get out there and solve your problem. But, of course, you can also book an appointment online. And so if you do have an emergency, like a burst pipe inside or outside your home, they understand time is of the essence.
Right.
And they're not going to make a just huge mess of your property, whether you're talking about digging up a huge hole in your yard or tearing out a bunch of drywall inside. Both can create a big muddy mess like that Coleman rally if you don't do it right. No, Cole Plumbing has this precise proprietary pipelining technology. So with that precision, that expertise, they can get in there and solve that problem with minimal discomfort to you and your home. They can also help you with common issues like low water pressure or a clogged drain, tree root invasion. Maybe you got a basement, your sump pump ain't working.
Oof.
Maybe you want to renovate the house, run a new water line.
That's a good idea.
Cole Plumbing can help you with all of that. So check them out today. Again, 279-8919, 279-8919. And just remember, folks, when you have trouble with your bowl,
call on Cole, Joey.
Were you doing the high part?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's throwing me off with that.
That is throwing me off.
Can't hit the harmony like that.
I'm Joey Clark. That's Guy Mosley and Alvin in the studio. We'll be right back.
Alvin!
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. The U.S. economy surprisingly accelerated to a 2.4% annual growth rate from April through June. The gross domestic product, the economy's total output of goods and services, picked up from the 2% growth rate in the January-March quarter. Last quarter's expansion was well above the 1.5% annual rate that economists had forecast. Authorities say an Arizona teenager who disappeared nearly 4 years ago is safe after walking into a police station in Montana. 18-year-old Alicia Navarro of Glendale showed up alone this week in a small town about 40 miles from the Canadian border. And the U.S. with a 1-1 draw with Netherlands in Women's World Cup action. The Dow is down 3 points, but the Nasdaq is up 91. This is SRN News.
The recent bank failures are serving as a warning about how fragile our banking system really is. As millions of Americans panic, do you know what central banks are doing? Well, they're actually buying up gold at record levels. They're relying on it as a safe haven during these difficult times. That's how confident they are in the dollar. Hi, I'm Lance Wallnow, Christian author and evangelical leader to millions of people just like you. We're all Americans who want to protect our family's savings no matter what. I tell people the best option is to diversify their 401k or IRA into physical gold or silver with the help of Birch Gold Group. To see how it works, just text the word FAITH to the number 989898 to get a free information kit on gold IRAs. Look, there's no strings attached. It's not going to hurt you to take action now. So take the first step today and educate yourself. Get your free info kit when you text FAITH to 989898 right now. And I pray you and your family are greatly blessed.
Rich Thomas weather brought to you by Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. Truckers, if you are looking for green grass, contact Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. In business since 1959 and still growing. Call today, 855-777-9785.
Rich Thomas weather.
Hi, everybody. Our extended heat wave rolls on not only through the end of July, but at least the first week in August. Triple-digit heat indices, minimal rain chances. Today's high temperature around 98 with the heat index 102 to 105. Abundant sunshine, rain chances 20% or less today and Friday. The actual high temperature on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday will be in the upper 90s with a heat index as high as 105. That's the danger range. Widely scattered pop-up storms here and there Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but they will be isolated. That means not many to go around. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
From WAKA Channel 8 News, I'm Jerome Jones. Montgomery police say 2 men were injured in a double shooting in East Montgomery Tuesday night. An MPD spokesperson says police were called to the 7800 block of Vaughan Road at about 9 p.m. Tuesday. WAKA staff members witnessed a large crime scene at the Circle K convenience store at the corner of Vaughan and Taylor Roads. Police say 2 men were taken to the hospital with what are said to be non-life-threatening gunshot wounds. 31-year-old Cruz Woodard was arrested in the case and charged with second-degree assault. And a 2-year-old boy is dead after being shot in Wetumpka. Sheriff Bill Franklin says it happened at a home over the weekend. Police have ruled it an accidental shooting and say no charges will be filed. Those are your news headlines. I'm Jerome Jones. Watch WAKA Channel 8 News.
Here we have one of nature's most volatile environments, the bathroom. This often dry landscape will occasionally see immense floods. No one truly knows the cause.
Waterproof flooring for your great indoors. Get it at Flooring America, where friends send friends.
Looking to freshen up your house? Come see your local flooring and countertop experts. Carol's Carpet Flooring America has everything for your kid-proof, pet-proof, and waterproof needs. Mention code BABY to receive a special discount.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
This is Evan Bass for Montgomery Men's Health, and I've been helping men with low testosterone issues for over a decade. I've seen firsthand how low testosterone sneaks up on you, often so slowly that you just get used to all the issues that come along with being low T. If you're experiencing a low sex drive, if your energy just isn't what it used to be, if you're gaining unwanted fat or have issues with muscle gain in the gym, you very well may have low testosterone. At Montgomery Men's Health, we've successfully treated many men for low T, and the results can be life-changing. Many of our patients start putting on muscle again when they work out. They find they have more energy, they sleep better, and their sex lives often improve as well. So make an appointment today and see if low T therapy can make the difference for you. Your first appointment is only $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult with testosterone lab results in minutes. Call 334-440-3663. That's 334-440-3663 or go to montgomerymenshealth.com.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. I'm your host, Joey Clark. Eddie Bader here in the studio with me.
Hello.
How you doing, Eddie?
All right.
You doing okay? Really?
Good night, yeah.
You're just that.
I'm trying to move some camera action here.
Yeah, we're still tightening up the screws here when it comes to the live stream.
Dude,
folks,
I got some bags under these eyes. Looks like
no,
I got
are you
suitcases.
wearing makeup?
No, Joe. It's just that good camera. I'm not afraid to invest some money in camera equipment, Joey.
Well, if y'all want to check out the live stream, you go to my Facebook page, News Talk 93.1 FM's Facebook page, my Twitter, which is at the Joey Clark, if you do the Twitter, or is it X now?
I think it's X.
And then I'm also on YouTube. Just search Joey Clark YouTube. It might need a little searching, but I'm the crap-eating smile wearing the blue suit and tie.
Yeah.
Good description?
That's a pretty good description. But there's some really good music around you. There's Joey Clark live music, who I thought was you.
See, I got to start getting more of my music out and compete with these
Right.
guys. Anyway,
Right.
let's go to Emery. Hey, Emery.
Hey, good afternoon, folks.
How are you doing, bud?
Wonderful. How about you?
I'm hanging in here like a hair in a biscuit.
I hear you, babe. Mitch McConnell, that's a prime example of an elderly American that mixed his medicine up. He took his PM pill in the morning, or his AM pill last night. I do the same thing sometimes. I have to take like 10 pills a day.
So you got one of those like days of the week, like containers?
Correct.
Okay, yeah.
A 7 day, a week. You know, every day, AM, PM, AM, PM, AM, PM, AM. But sometimes I get it confused.
Right.
I can see where that happened.
And hey, let me tell you one thing: it will overcome you. You will not be able to. You can sit there and watch Gomer Pyle all day and not get what they're trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it just puts you out there in the ozone layer, and he had that look in his eye.
He had a very far away look in his eye.
Right.
There you go. He was distant. He was way over there. All right, great show.
Thank you.
Carry on the good work.
Appreciate it, man.
Appreciate it, sir. Let's go to Roger. Hey, Roger, how you doing?
Eddie, I'm glad you're back, son. You got to take up for us. Joey blamed our generation for this mess the other day.
Wait, who's your generation?
Old folks, you said it was your parents. What is it? It would be the baby boomers.
You damn boomer.
Yeah, hold on now. Just make it clear. I don't always agree with Joey, but I'm not a boomer. Just to make it clear, I love boomers.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with some boomers.
No,
but I'm a little bit younger.
What I was saying, Roger, is not every boomer out there. I mean, the people in power, like those boomers.
Mm-hmm.
And I also added this, I hope you were listening, that I'm not saying millennials are going to do it better. We'll probably screw it up worse. But, you know.
At least you're being honest about it, Joey.
Right. It's people your age running things.
Well, I thought you were a boomer there, Eddie.
No, sir. Nothing wrong with the boomers. I'm a little bit younger than that. But I will say, I lay as much blame on myself as anybody else. I went to work thinking if I elected these morons, they were going to do their job and I'd do mine. I did my job very well. Little did I know, the whole time they were just stealing and screwing us over.
That's nothing new. It's been every political seat. I mean, did Mo ever have the backing of the Southern Alabama Power?
No.
Yellow Fella, the big mules that bought and paid for Katie Britt? No. So he was never. He never had a chance without them, because they're going to get who they want elected. Period. And you know that. I know that.
I have noticed
All
that.
we can do is we can fuss about it a little bit, but just go on and live our lives. And are you still drinking the Busch Light?
I do. I do. And it's funny you mentioned that because, you know, they're getting so much pushback. So on the new Busch beer cans, they got a picture of corn and it says, helping farmers. It's like,
is it like an actual picture or a cartoon?
No,
rendering?
it's a kind of actual picture of corn. And I'm guessing that's their way of trying to distance themselves. But everybody knows that's still Anheuser-Busch.
No, you need you get rid of that pitchy voice that you were using a minute ago. If you'll quit drinking the Busch Light, you'll quit transitioning.
What would you recommend he drink, Roger?
What do you recommend, Roger?
Yingling, but not everybody's got a stomach for it. It's pretty good.
I like Yingling.
I do
This
like
explains
Yingling.
why I'm a man.
I don't know about
That's
that.
not one you want to drink 10 or 12 of. Okay?
See, that's what my advantage of Busch Light. Yeah.
Which is 90% water. But,
Right.
No, I drank some Busch Lights when I went to visit you. We went out on the boat, and
You
I'm like,
stay very well
I should just-
hydrated.
I guess I should just put an air compressor in my mouth, like just put the air right in there.
It's a good way to stay hydrated.
You took him out on that small body of water on the Coosa River. Is that?
Yeah, I took him out on Lake Jordan, and Joey couldn't believe all that big water. He just could not believe all that water out there.
No, I'd been on the Coosa and stuff before. I've been to the Gulf.
Oh my God,
Actually,
I've
my
been to the
favorite
Gulf.
thing over there at Lake Jordan was Goat Island.
Yeah, the goat island.
I was like, is it really just an island for goats? You're like, yeah. And we got close. I'm like, oh, look at the goats. Cool.
Well, not everybody qualifies for the Tallapoosa. I mean, the Coosa is okay. It's kind of a septic tank in place.
I apologize to anybody working on that area.
Read the reviews. Don't eat the fish. It means it's a septic tank.
Mercury.
See, if the health department would get in touch with the conservation department and aid them, but obviously they don't talk.
Nope.
We could find out where the contaminants are coming from that they're telling you not to eat the fish. The lead, the PCBs. But anyway, back to the original premise. You lose hope in society. If I give you a phrase, and I know y'all heard it before, and apply it to one of your callers, that you wish you could buy them for what they're worth and sell them for what they think they're worth, which one would it be, Joey?
I'm stumped.
Well, he was on just a minute ago.
I'm writing it down.
What, you're writing it down?
I'm writing it down.
He just doesn't want to hurt anybody's feelings.
There you go. Always closing.
But we were in Gulfport, Biloxi. My wife sees a doctor down there, and we stay at the casino. And as we approached, the escalator had an out-of-order sign with tape across it. And I thought, I've just lost all hope in society right now. So I took the little strap off. As I walk up the escalator, and the girl says, escalator's broken. You can't use it. I said, yeah, but they redefined it as stairs, so now we can't use it.
Right.
So, there was a crowd of people waiting to get on an elevator, and I'm thinking, how stupid are we? I mean, really. So, once the Buffalo took that, we stormed the stairs, the escalator, and made our trip. But, I'm just sitting there thinking, you people are idiots.
Yep. I got to agree with you on that, Roger.
This is why we get along, Roger. I think that every day.
So who did you come up with, Joey? Which one can we sell and make money at?
Wait, give it to me again.
There's a caller that thinks highly of himself, so you wish you could buy him for what he's really worth.
Right.
And sell him for what he thinks he's worth.
Were you talking about Red Top?
How did you figure that out?
I don't know. It was a random guess.
Nail on the head.
Well, I appreciate you, Roger.
Thank you.
Take care, Roger.
272-9228. This is part of the program brought to you by Bath Innovations of Alabama. And we're running out of days, folks. Your chance to get that 25% off this top-of-the-line Alexis walk-in bathtub. This Alexis walk-in bathtub system is second to none, folks. UL approved, which means it is top of the line in terms of products. This is the sort of thing you could go to a spa and enjoy,
definitely.
but you could have it in your own home. And so it has things like hydrotherapy jet massage, 10 water jet massagers, really help, loosen up those real sore muscles. Or how about the air bubble therapy? It's like you're, like you're in a champagne glass, and what that helps with, these little bubbles, 18 jets creating these bubbles. It's like you're in champagne, but it gives increased circulation. It kind of gives that invigorating feeling, like blood flow. Also makes you feel weightless. It helps with buoyancy, so it helps relax those muscles even more. They have color chromotherapy, aromatherapy, ozone therapy, and purification. This, again, Alexis walk-in bathtub system is top of the line. And right now, they had a limited supply. I don't even know how many they have left, folks. But first come, first serve. But you can get 25% off this system if you go by Bath Innovations of Alabama today. So call them at 271-2723. That's 271-2723. Or you can go to bathinnovations.com. But I really encourage you to stop by their showroom at 2331 Eastern Boulevard here in Montgomery. And be sure to tell Brad McDowell and the entire team that you heard about him here on News and Views in the afternoon. Who do we got here, Eddie?
Got Soldier Boy and Wayne Spivey.
Soldier Boy, how you doing?
Hey, 3 talking points. First one's really quick. I just saw somebody across the road here in Montgomery. I can believe this. He's on a scooter, okay, no helmet, and he's looking at his cell phone texting.
What?
I'm just waiting to wipe him up off the street with a wet mop. Can't believe that.
Some folks, man. No home training.
Yeah, could have caused an accident, going to kill himself. First thing I want to talk about, they had that congressional meeting yesterday, inquiry about the UFOs.
Yep.
Okay, here's what's interesting that even makes you more suspicious that the Pentagon knows more than they're letting out to be. Okay, you ever notice they say every year there's like $15 to $30 billion missing in an audit, or they can't audit because there's so much money missing?
Yep.
What a great way to hide all that money.
Every year.
Where's that money going to? Oh, guess what? De-engineering of UFOs, maybe, perhaps. Billions. And they can't find it. And that's every year in the Pentagon. Is that correct?
Yep.
So that's kind of suspicious. What do you think, Joey?
Of course it's suspicious. I think there's a lot of these so-called black budgets where even the members of Congress they're not looking at what they're voting on. They just trust the intelligence committee to come up with, we're going to put this money there, here in this part of the world. And I think there's something rotten, not just at the Pentagon DOD, but across this government.
Definitely.
Yeah, I think there's a lot that we don't know about. But if I was the president, that's the first thing I would want to know. Like the book, what's it called? The Book of Presidents or something? Remember that movie with Nicolas Cage?
National Treasure, yeah.
Yeah, man, that's the first book I want to see, dude. I was like, oh, okay, who shot Kennedy? Okay.
I'm going to steal the Declaration of Independence.
Let's go. You're so wrong. Let's talk about that. And the final talking point. Let's talk about the canines at the White House. And I'm talking about the first dog was, what was his name? Major.
Yeah. They had to send him away, man.
They had to send him away. I guess for stud service, I don't know. And, dogs are like kids. It's how you raise them, and they pick up the energy from their owner.
Well, they brought him back. They had to send him away again. Because he bit
No, they got
more
a new
staff.
one. They brought a new one. This one was named, Commander.
Jeez.
And Commander been biting 5 or 6 of the Secret Service guys, a couple of the staff members, and everything else. Now, a dog usually bites. I guarantee that dog is trained. So he's picking up off of stress and everything. And I know what that dog's Commander's stress problem is. He keeps getting blamed for that mess that's left on the carpet in the White House.
Could be.
But I think it's Joe and his leaky diapers.
Oh, my goodness. Wait, the White House isn't the Vatican.
It's got sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
Well, I believe that he pooped his pants at the Vatican, but not other places.
Come on, Commander's getting the blame for leaving those dog remnants on the in the Oval Office and the carpet, and I think it's the president. I mean, he did cure cancer, didn't he?
Right.
God, I forgot. Yeah, forgot about that.
That's amazing. He should be getting a Nobel prize for medical, right, or something. He cured cancer.
Right.
He's well deserved of a prize, but.
Yeah, but didn't he not say that exactly those words when I cured cancer? And now they're trying to backtrack on that.
Yeah, he said it the other day, and it was just like, this is old man, sloppy Joe Biden.
And here's the sad thing about it is, okay, the walls are closing in. I can see it in the media, NBC, MSNBC. They're still trying to hold on to Joe, but they know Joe is a prize that's not going to be around come the National Democratic, convention. I mean, who wants to bet money that's not going to be the old guy from California?
You don't think it's going to be Gavin?
That's not. Yeah, I mean Gavin.
Gavin Newsom?
Yeah.
He's such a disaster, too, though. Look at, he's pretty, but look at his state. How can you even begin to say I can make the United States just like California?
Well, you know how Trump said, I had to retire a nickname. It used to be Crooked Hillary, but now I got to retire it. I now call her Beautiful Hillary, Beautiful Hillary. So now, because I retired the name for her, I can call him Crooked Joe Biden, Crooked Joe. And you know how I used to say that Matt Gaetz, that shiny bastard?
Yeah.
I'm going to have to retire that for Matt Gaetz and start calling Gavin Newsom that.
The shiny bastard?
Because that one fits.
He does, man.
Matt Gaetz has got the hairstyle of Gavin Newsom. Doesn't he?
Oh, yeah. There's, it is these Florida men and these women in the Congress that are out of control. They're out of control.
But did you hear the secret who he might pick as his running mate? You're not going to believe this. Take a guess. I'll give you a clue. Okay? They got one of the sorriest football teams, national football teams in that state.
Tampa Bay?
No.
I will fight you. I know what you're doing. The paddle's right there behind me, all right?
Just checking.
Well, that's what they're saying. They're saying, what's her name? Was that lady wears all that makeup on her face? from the governor from Michigan.
Oh, Gretchen Whitmer?
Yeah.
Yeah, Gretchen Whitmer. Yeah,
that'd be a good running mate. Go ahead. Get her out of that office. And
could you imagine if they win, what our country's going to look like?
Well, and there's always the prospect of, say, Michelle Obama.
Nah, she won't ever run.
Hey, did you hear yesterday that came out? I was reading on it. Of course, Obama's personal cook, who was supposed to be a, quote, great swimmer and everything. They showed him on, TikTok and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And, of course, he drowned, right?
Right.
But they said years before that, the 2 years after the Clintons got out of the White House, that their personal chef also drowned, too.
Yeah, and about 1.5 inches of water.
So what's the deal with the connection between chefs and drowning if you work for the president in the White House?
I'm not sure, but I told that judge in the Hunter Biden case, don't you go paddleboarding anytime soon.
A lot of things are said in the kitchen.
Right.
She better not go paddleboarding.
Yeah, you better double check your canoe for holes next time you go out there.
Isn't Obama writing a book, and they said this is happening about like 3 or 4 months before his new book comes out? Was he going to have something scandalous?
Possibly. I don't know. That's the speculation online, but that's what it is, speculation at this point.
Well, when I saw those videos of him, he looked like an Olympic swimmer out there, okay? And now suddenly he falls off a paddleboard. Somebody was watching him, and he doesn't come back up. Interesting.
No life jacket either.
Yeah, of course not. And just happened to be and then the first lie was that the Obamas weren't at home on the property, and then they retracted that. Now they were in the house.
To use a classic Democrat line, why are you so obsessed with this? Why are you so obsessed with the Obamas?
Joey, ask me a question.
Why are you so obsessed with the cocaine in the White House?
Joey, that's right now under a current investigation right now.
Yeah.
I can't discuss that.
Yeah, right.
Every time you ask me a question, it's under a current investigation, and I can't discuss that.
Yeah, and we can't discuss that. By the way, have you seen the ultra MAGA Republicans acting like George Wallace lately? Go look at them. Go look at them.
Yeah.
I appreciate the call, Soldier Boy.
All right, guys.
Later, bud.
Let's go to Wayne. Hey, Wayne. How you doing?
What's up, man?
Hey, fellas. How you doing?
Mike.
Good. Hey, I heard you guys talking about the beautiful river.
Yes, sir.
And the cleanliness or non-cleanliness of it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It's been quite a number of years ago, but there was a move afoot. There was a group here called Citizen Action, and they had a campaign to pass a bill called the Fisherman's Right to Know Act. It was really non-combative. The only thing that it did, a number of industries already have permission to discharge wastewater into the river.
Yep.
They have permits to do that. The only thing that this bill would have done would have required those businesses, those industries that have discharge permits to put a sign up educating, just informing what were they discharging, so you could make an informed decision about whether you wanted to go upstream and do your recreating.
Mm-hmm.
And that got buried. No, they wouldn't even let it come out for a hearing. That always puzzled me.
Yeah.
It was very non-invasive. The business world complained that it would cost them too much to maintain the signs and what have you.
Yep.
So there was an effort at one point to maybe not clean up the river, but at least give you an idea what you were recreating in. But it didn't go past the first desk.
I think there's an organization out there, River Keepers, that kind of keeps track on a lot of that stuff too. On when the areas get polluted, I know there's an app off our Lake Jordan webpage that does that.
Good news, we now have the man-made whitewater park.
There you go.
Appreciate it, Wayne.
Make sure. Let me get in for the drawing. Of course, I haven't been to Sweet Creek in a while, so I need a reason.
We actually stopped the drawing about a month ago.
Yeah.
Are you kidding?
No, they're no longer a sponsor of the show, but they're good folks. You can still go see them.
Okay. Hey, I may do that.
All right, Wayne. Take care, brother.
Hey, you guys have a good day.
You too, man.
272-9228. This is part of the program brought to you by, Dylan Rings. And we told you earlier about the permanent jewelry that both Eddie and I are wearing. And it's a really great option. You can always go by at 119 Brown Springs Road and ask Josh and Leslie, okay, I got this idea for a party or to commemorate a group, maybe like Bunko,
right.
Or maybe get together and play spades, and you just kind of want to have a fun
bachelorette party.
Right. Exactly.
And if you're looking for a dancer, I know a guy.
We're talking about Dylan Rings, not your weird stuff.
Talking about you, but okay.
But I don't dance. But also, there at Dylan Rings, Josh Ryder is a true artist, folks. He can do custom design pieces. So it could be, hey, you inherit a family heirloom.
Yeah.
You want to keep it, you want to wear it, but you want to update it before you do that. He can help you with something in that regard. Maybe combine two pieces of jewelry into one so you can wear it often. He can help you with that. Or it could be a dream. Just a dream. If you can dream it, Josh Ryder can make it a reality. And he can actually create a digital rendering of the custom jewelry. And so you can see, oh, I like it, I don't like it. Right. He can work on it some more. Then he can make that digital rendering a true physical reality. Bring that jewelry to life. Josh is so good, other jewelry places in town go to him. Mm-hmm. That's how good he is. They are a full-service jewelry shop, from that custom design to watch repair, on-site jewelry repair, jewelry appraisal, even spa treatment, stone replacement, pearl stringing. They do it all. So check out Dylan Rings today. You can always go to DylanRings.com or give them a call at 215-3669. That's 215-3669. Or, well, just stop by 119 Brown Springs Road. I believe they're still doing that Christmas in July sale.
Oh, cool, Joe.
Yeah, it depends on the item, but 25 to 60% off select items there at Dylan Rings. I think layaway until Christmas.
Nice.
Really great sale. So check them out today. That's Dylan Rings. And be sure to tell Josh and Leslie that Joey and Eddie from News and Views in the Afternoon sent you. More News and Views after this quick break.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Finally, the Toyota store that gives you more. The all-new Toyota of Montgomery is here. With all-new management, all-new team, and all-new great attitude. Get more from your Toyota store. Over 400 new Toyotas are coming in hot and filling up our lot. Get your favorite new Toyota model, like the 2023 Toyota Camry, Corolla, RAV4, Highlander, Tacoma, Tundra, and more. All with our lowest grand opening prices and biggest grand opening savings right now. And come see how our new team is committed to serve Montgomery and give you the best service in the River region. And we'll always pay you more money for your trade-in. Find out how much and schedule an appraisal online at ToyotaMontgomery.com. You get more. You save more. A lot more. Get your new Toyota today before someone else does. And discover the all-new way to buy a Toyota at Toyota Montgomery. Shop online at ToyotaMontgomery.com.
Who's there?
It's Bill, the electrician, here to make your home burglar-proof.
Oh, thank goodness. I thought maybe you were an intruder.
No, ma'am. I'm a burglar's worst nightmare.
If your house doesn't have sufficient outdoor lighting, it's a prime target for intruders. That's why you should call Crosby Electric today.
How's it going, Bill?
Just fine, ma'am. See, when your intruder trips this wire, it grabs him by the foot and hangs him upside down.
Really?
The experts at Crosby Electric will install lighting that not only discourages intruders, but also makes it safer for you and your guests to navigate around steps, pools, and other tripping hazards.
Bill, is that contraption safe?
Oh, sure. It's disarmed now, but...
Bill!
Like I said, I'm a burglar's worst nightmare.
I see.
You mind cutting me down, ma'am?
Avoid your worst nightmare. Call the outdoor lighting experts at Crosby Electric or visit crosbyelectric.com.
This is your roving reporter, and today I'm talking with a famous broadcaster.
Hey man, what's happening?
Now, I understand you radio people move a lot, is that correct?
Yeah, sometimes.
Well, how does this affect your taking care of your retirement money?
Oh man, I don't give that a second thought because my buddy David Ernest, he's my money man.
Your money man?
With the money plan.
I see.
So no matter where I go up and down the dial, David has my back, you know?
I'll bet you know some phone numbers our listeners could call to talk with David Ernest. 334-279-7431 or 205-479-0839. And he has a website at retirewithernest.com. Hey, you're on top of it today, man. I also understand that you hold some sort of a record in broadcasting. Yes, I was the first person to put together a show with myself, a duck, a chicken, and a goose. But it didn't last long. We got taken off the air. Why were you taken off the air? Too much foul language, man. Oh my, I wasn't crazy about that one myself.
Are you tired of the mainstream media's biased reporting? Do you want to stay informed on the news that really matters to you? Look no further than 1819 News. At 1819 News, we bring you the latest in Alabama news, politics, sports, culture, and more. We've assembled a team of journalists with Alabama values dedicated to the truth and the truth alone. Visit us at 1819news.com today. That's 1819news.com. Subscribe to our newsletter. Honest News, Alabama Values. This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
Live, local talk. The River Region's most trusted voice for news and opinion. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. Gotta love the off-air conversations, Eddie. Plenty to get to today, though. One thing, like, we got a lot of clips today, and it's a shame you weren't here yesterday to see all that UFO stuff.
I watched some of that yesterday, and I'm like, and I believe there was even a caller that called in. There's something else going on. If they're willing to say, hey, guys, we'll let you play with the little UFO idea now, that's distraction. I don't see it as anything but distraction.
Just distraction.
Yeah.
You don't think that most of the members on that were leading this and got that hearing done,
yeah.
It was like Anna Paulina Luna on the Republican side and Matt Gaetz as well, two Florida people.
Yeah.
Young, kind of up and coming, not in leadership. And then you saw a lot of young Democrats doing the same thing. So do you really think are they being useful idiots or something?
To me, well, yeah. I mean, just that whole body, Joey. Sorry, but that whole body is full of useful idiots.
No, I'm willing to believe it. That's why I asked.
Yeah.
But it's
and maybe for their own good. Maybe they don't. They're not watching somebody hide the ball, but something's going on.
Mr. Grush, he's the intelligence whistleblower.
Yeah.
What he's saying very much matches up with somebody like a Bob Lazar.
Oh, I agree.
Lazar's the first guy I heard from who said, here's how they keep these secrets. They compartmentalize in non-government entities, like these private corporations they work with to build all these weapon systems. And that way, you don't get a FOIA request for that super secret private corporation. And that's where a lot of this stuff is hidden. And Grush was saying, I know exactly where these things are from my conversations. I've got over 40 witnesses I've talked to. I think the pilots that they had in yesterday, and in particular, I've heard the testimony of Favor. He's the guy who was off the West Coast, saw the Tic Tac.
Tic Tac guy, yeah.
I think it's very credible.
I do too. However, when our government wants to shut people up, they know how to shut them up.
Well, and it's interesting. There were Republican and Democrat members both together complaining that the powers that be in Congress and the administrative state would not let us use a SCIF where we could actually do a classified hearing. Right. Why won't you let them use the SCIF? But here's the one thing. We'll see whether or not it's a distraction or a hoax or whatever. But it looks like the one thing they're going to create out of this is more lanes for people to come forward without reprisal from the powers that be. It's a big point of the hearing yesterday that, yes, people have been threatened. I mean, sometimes it's just career destruction, reputation destruction. Sometimes it's maybe worse, that people might end up dead because they know too much. So you might say, oh, that's only in the movies. Well, I think the movies get it from somewhere, folks. But in a second, let's get to, this John Kennedy clip. We don't have enough time right now, but did you see, it was this guy is such the liberal, like neoliberal professor.
Yeah.
Like big bottle cap glasses, like the bow tie. Well, sir, I was doing, and it's like, you're not even British. You're a professor at Tulane. We'll get to that in a second. But, we got those calls earlier about how hot it is outside.
Tell me about it.
And I think Chuck Schumer was out there talking about how hot it is and yada, yada, yada. Well, did you see what the United Nations chief claims?
No.
That the era of global warming is over.
Has it gotten so hot it burn it out or something?
Maybe, but I think we should, because I saw this headline and was like, well, the era of global warming has ended. It's over.
Are we going to start getting colder?
Well, here, let's just share the clip with folks.
Could you really use colder right now?
The head of the United Nations, he's looking healthy. Let's listen in together. I guess he's going to announce the end of global warming.
And for scientists, it is unequivocal. Humans are to blame. All this is entirely consistent with predictions and repeated warnings. The only surprise is the speed of the change. Climate change is here, it is terrifying, and it is just the beginning.
Wait, I thought he was going to say it's the end of the global warming era.
No, I think he's saying
the era of global warming has ended. The era of global boiling has arrived.
Oh! No! Now, is this a temporary thing called summer?
Oh, yeah.
Or it's going to be hot from here on out?
The era of global warming is over. The era of global boiling is upon us.
If it's boiling, why ain't that fat boy sweating?
Hold on, we got to hear that again.
Just the beginning.
Yes.
The era of global warming has ended. The era of global boiling has arrived.
Oh.
The air is unbreathable.
It's unbreathable.
Can you breathe?
I'm breathing right
Are
now.
you breathing? It's unbreathable.
The heat is unbearable.
Is the heat unbearable?
I'll agree with him on that.
Yeah, he almost had a heat stroke.
A couple weeks ago, or a couple weeks from now, it'll be fine.
And the level of fossil fuel profits and climate inaction is unacceptable.
The fossil fuel.
Leaders must lead.
Leaders must leave.
Leaders must
I think he said they must leave, and I'm down with that too.
Here, it is terrifying, and it is just the beginning. The era of global warming has ended. The era of global boiling has arrived.
I do like the global boiling.
Yeah. I think we probably, as human beings, deserve it.
I agree. However, I still think that the globe has been changing forever, and it will always continue to change till there's no more. I mean, it's a great way to go. Yeah, it's global warming. Until it starts getting cold, then we'll say, oh, it's freezing.
Eddie, you know how it is. Like seriously, look at me. Like the way we solve this is, number one, you have to stop denying that it's real. You just heard him. The era of global warming is over. Global boiling is upon us.
I'm down with that.
You must listen. The scientists have decided. So the way we solve this problem is you have to stop being so mean. I don't like your tone. And number three, you have to give up all your wealth, all your liberty to the global experts, and they'll solve the problem for you.
That's not going to be hard. I got 27 cents in my pocket. They're more than welcome to it. But the global boiling? I mean, is that because I'm outside? I was sweating.
Well, the fossil fuel. The profits.
I went in the house. I cranked up some fossil fuel, and the house cooled right down. I felt a lot better.
We laugh, but it's just so over the top. And they keep trying to scare people. And I love all these predictions 100 years out. You can't predict the weather tomorrow.
Okay, if they're so good, if they could say 100 years out, it'll be this. Then give me 2 years.
And here's the kicker. It's not just we're predicting what temperatures might be 100 years out. What they do is they go, here's the temperature now, here's the trend, here's the economic impact of the temperature and those trends. And then, so we're going to judge how the temperature's going to change, and then what the economic impact of that temperature change is going to be over a 100-year period. You know how they always project in 10 years, here's what our budget will be, in 20 years, and it's usually wrong?
Usually, yeah.
So they're going to predict out 100 years, and here's the kicker. We can do all sorts of stuff. You could just listen and say, we're boiling, do something, and you let the UN do whatever they want. They can't measure the impact.
Not only that, they can't change the temperature, Joey. I don't give a damn what they do. You and me, we're going to be riding this out till we're dead. There's no temperature change coming from anything that they do. You want it to be colder? Move north. That's all I can tell you.
But on this issue of global warming or climate change or global boiling,
yes,
John Kennedy, senator from Louisiana.
I love me some Kennedy.
He is going to be talking to a professor from Tulane.
Okay.
And, well, y'all are going to want to tune in, especially tune into the live stream on Facebook, on my Twitter, @TheJoeyClark.
Definitely.
Of course, you can go to YouTube, search Joey Clark, and we're live. So use a live filter. You should be able to find us. We'll be right back.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Do you have a cell phone or tablet that isn't charging, dying fast, or maybe the screen is damaged? Don't get suckered into buying a new one. XI Repair can fix your current device same day and in under 30 minutes. Their certified technicians fix and recover data from thousands of cell phones, computers, tablets, game consoles, and drones 7 days a week. Give them a call today at 334-777-1234 or visit them online at xirepair.com.
This is Evan Bass for Montgomery Men's Health, and I've been helping men with low testosterone issues for over a decade. I've seen firsthand how low testosterone sneaks up on you, often so slowly that you just get used to all the issues that come along with being low T. If you're experiencing a low sex drive, if your energy just isn't what it used to be, if you're gaining unwanted fat or have issues with muscle gain in the gym, you very well may have low testosterone. At Montgomery Men's Health, we've successfully treated many men for low T, and the results can be life-changing. Many of our patients start putting on muscle again when they work out. They find they have more energy, they sleep better, and their sex lives often improve as well. So make an appointment today and see if low T therapy can make the difference for you. Your first appointment is only $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult with testosterone lab results in minutes. Call 334-440-3663. That's 334-440-3663 or go to montgomerymenshealth.com.
Next contestant.
Honey, you look confused. What's wrong?
I'm having a hard time remembering to take my medications like I'm supposed to. I didn't say anything because I didn't want to worry you.
I'm glad you told me, because I heard that Adams Drugs has a medicine on time service that will package your monthly medications and make them easier to manage. Our neighbors, Bill and Leslie, mentioned the other day that they use Adams and how they have made it so easy for them to manage their medications.
Do you think we can call Adams Drugs or go by there and see if they can help me? I don't want to get to the point where you have to put me into an assisted living home.
Why don't you get your medications together right now and let's go down to Adams and talk to the pharmacist.
How much does the medicine on time service cost?
I asked Bill that same question, and he told me it's a free service for Adams customers.
Free? Wow, I'm feeling really good about this already. Let me grab my meds list.
Call Adams Drugs Medicine on Time for your pharmacist consultation. Visit us at adamsdrugs.net for more information on our Medicine on Time packaging service.
Hey, this is Benji with Marguerite's. The great thing about gold and diamonds is that we can make a ring that you have wore for 20 years look like the day you bought it. For example, if you have a white gold ring or rings that you have worn for some years, you can take it to a jewelry store and they will charge $150 to $250 to re-rhodium, polish, and clean your rings to get that look. You ask, what is rhodium? Rhodium is a very expensive, precious metal that jewelers use to coat white gold rings to make them extremely light, of course, to make them look brand new again. Marguerite's has decided to brighten your summer with the complimentary rhodium and polish of your rings. As of today until August the 5th, August the 5th will be here before you know it. Bring in all your rings at Marguerite's. We will rhodium them at no charge whatsoever. So don't miss out on this great deal because at Marguerite's, of course, we make it. We really make it. We're open 7 days a week for your convenience for all your jewelry needs. We are located at 8163 Vaughn Road in the Preparatory Shopping Center. So come see us at Marguerite's. Let us make all your rings look like the day you bought them.
Visit Marguerite's now through August 5th for your complimentary rhodium and polish.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
Rich Thomas Weather is brought to you by JB Windows and Siding. Call Jones Brothers. You'll be glad you did.
JB Windows and Siding has what you're looking for. Rich Thomas Weather.
Hi, everybody. Our extended heat wave rolls on not only through the end of July, but at least the first week in August. Triple-digit heat indices, minimal rain chances. Today's high temperature around 98. with the heat index 102 to 105. Abundant sunshine, rain chances 20% or less today and Friday. The actual high temperature on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday will be in the upper 90s with a heat index as high as 105. That's the danger range. Widely scattered pop-up storms here and there Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but they will be isolated. That means not many to go around. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Hi, I'm Ray Bowles from Prattville Carpet. If you're looking for waterproof carpet, hardwood, laminate, vinyl plank, or ceramic tile, call us today for your free measurement.
During Prattville Carpet's summer sale, you can get Mohawk waterproof flooring, regularly priced at $11 per foot installed, right now priced at $7 per foot installed. That's huge summer savings. And get interest-free financing for up to 12 months with approved credit. Call 285-8117 or visit prattvillecarpet.com.
Prattville Carpet, we're more than just carpet.
The River Region's News Talk Station. News Talk 93.1. WACV. News Talk 93.1.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. I'm your host, Joey Clark. My trusty sidekick, Eddie Bader, is here.
Hey, buddy.
And let's tell folks about Alabama Home Mortgage. Really great folks.
Kim Williams, one of the greatest people I ever met.
Kim is fantastic.
I can tell you, when I came into the real estate business, she was one of those people that reached out to me and took me under her wing.
Yeah.
And said, hey, Eddie, I don't know if any other lenders have shown you how it's done. I'm going to show you. And she did.
Through all the steps?
Every step.
You know, it's funny because that's what they do with their customers, right?
She literally, and that's what she said. She said, because when everything was said and done, our meeting was said and done, I kind of sat there and I was soaking it all in. And she said, what I just did with you is what I'll do with every customer you ever bring.
And that's why she started Alabama Home Mortgage. She was working at a big bank. She realized, hey, I can get people a better deal, better service. I can make a great life doing it on my own. And they have how long has it been around? We need to ask her again. It's been maybe 2 decades?
At least, yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say that because it might give away some.
Yeah, I don't know exactly, but I know it's been, let's just say this. They've helped so many folks in the River Region. They've earned their reputation there at Alabama Home Mortgage. So whether you're a first-time home buyer, maybe it's not your first rodeo, they can walk you every step of the way from pre-approval all the way to closing day. Or maybe you're looking to get out from mountains of credit card debt or any sort of debt. Maybe you want to reinvest in yourself, your family, your home. You can do that with a great refinance deal there at Alabama Home Mortgage, especially you veterans. Their VA home loan specialists there, Kim and Madeline, did the extra education to get VA home loan certified.
I have to do it every year, Joey.
Yeah, and they know the latest. So veterans on a refinance, you can refinance up to 100% of your home's estimated value.
Nice.
It's an incredible deal. So check out Alabama Home Mortgage today. That number, 567-4223. That's 567-4223. You can also visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. There is a difference in mortgage companies.
That's right.
Let Kim and Madeline prove that to you today. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender. Now, as promised, should we go to Senator John Kennedy of Louisiana?
Please.
Yeah, this was, we hadn't played a Kennedy clip in a while, and I just found this to be incredibly juicy.
Could not play it, huh, Joey?
Let's listen in together.
Professor Keenan, you teach at Tulane?
Yes, sir, I do. I have that privilege.
And you have your own website, KeenanClimate.com, is that right?
Yes, sir, I do.
Okay. And you describe yourself on your website as a globally recognized thought leader. Is that correct?
Silence your phone, Senator.
Okay. And
been there.
Oh, yeah, me
you get paid speeches, do you?
On occasion, I do.
You have your own agent, I believe, according to your website, Lee Bureau.
This is correct.
And how much do you charge per speech?
It varies depending on the audience, the amount of preparation work that goes, and the amount of follow-through.
The last paid speech you gave, how much did you receive?
I'm happy to follow up on it.
You don't remember?
I do not.
Do you give that money to Tulane?
I do not.
You keep it?
Yes, this is outside of my capacity as a professor.
Right.
As is
Now,
standard course.
Okay, look at that guy.
Oh, don't make me. I just want to slap the crap out of him.
See,
right now,
I'm too empathetic to make fun of him. What would you say?
The first thing I'd like to do is take that bow tie off and strangle him with it.
Why? He hasn't even
look
said
at it.
anything.
He has such a look of pompous ass about him that you know, and it has been proven. Any question you ask him will come back with attitude. So
and,
that's
and like
the
kind of
like
bishy or something like it's not a strong
no.
attitude,
It's a
which can be a problem
sassy.
too.
It's sassy.
I'm just saying these women are out of control. Wait, wrong segment. Let's continue on with this guy.
You recently sent a letter.
Doing the old Southern wind up
You
there.
recently joined a lot of other academics. You signed a letter demanding that elite institutions and universities stop accepting money from fossil fuel companies. Is that correct?
This is correct.
You consider Tulane an elite university?
I would like to think that we have a high standard of excellence in our education and our research.
Okay. Well, the Murphy family of Murphy Oil and the Deming family
Good family.
of Murphy Oil have recently given Tulane $25 million. Have you called on Tulane to give that money back?
Well, it's not, they didn't give that money to my unit or the department or school that I work
Have you
in.
called on Tulane to give that money back, or you think that's okay for them to keep it?
It's their prerogative, not mine.
Okay. Yet you just signed a letter saying that all elite universities should refuse fossil fuel money. Did you put a footnote in there and say, except my own?
Well, what I'd like to say, Senator, is that I believe it raises a conflict of interest for those that research climate change that are supported by the fossil fuel
Yeah,
industry.
but then why don't you ask Tulane to give the $25 million back?
Well, I
Because
think
they
in the
might fire me.
context, if that money were to be used to support climate research, information, disinformation, or whatever it may be, then that may be an appropriate conflict of interest. But I think in the context of which
You don't
Tulane
see
is
the
in,
hypocrisy here?
it is hypocrisy in those that may read and interpret it as such.
Maybe it's like Washington. If there weren't double standards, there wouldn't be standards at all. Let me ask you this.
Nice.
You also participated in another article here criticizing Houston for building new buildings and McMansions. And you said,
McMansions.
Quote, I don't want to misquote you, Professor. That means we have to change our consumer preferences. You could have a super efficient, energy efficient mega mansion in Houston or the suburbs, but it's still a mansion. You're still over consuming space. Did you say that?
Yes, sir. That's based on work as a member of the IPCC. Our research suggested that reducing our footprint in terms of total spatial footprint would have significant impacts on the decarbonization of the built environment.
And so you're saying that people should live in smaller houses because larger houses contribute to CO2 emissions?
Right.
100%, Senator.
Okay. Well,
how big's your house?
recently Tulane finished the Commons. It was 77,000 square feet, $55 million. Recently, Tulane finished the Gold Ring Woldenberg Business Complex, $35 million to complete, 92,000 square feet. Boy,
Wow.
that's a McMansion.
Wow.
Mustapher Hall, 23,000 square feet. Paul Hall, 36,000 square feet. Richardson Hall, 50,000 square feet. Housing redevelopment phase 1, 230,000 square feet.
Whoa.
Tulane. Have you called upon Tulane to stop these buildings?
Sir, the habitable space within those units are roughly the size of the conference room back there and are indeed quite
But
small.
they contribute to, does
Everything that we do,
does
sir,
the Commons contribute more to climate change than a mansion in Houston? You were pretty quick to criticize the people of Houston for wanting to build, you thought, McMansions, but you don't criticize your own university?
I don't find that to be equivocal comparison between space meant for students who must reside at a university.
You don't see
and
the
those that-
hypocrisy in that?
It is your finding and interpretation, sir.
But you don't see the irony of the hypocrisy?
I'm going to go ahead and say no.
Okay.
Because you're a moron.
I kind of gathered that would be your answer.
Wow. No, and actually, I think the guy's idea would be everybody lives essentially in a dorm room.
Sure.
Yeah. Wow.
Because, he wants everybody to be a nerd like him.
And it is the issue with a lot of the warriors saying the elite level fighting the climate crisis, or what did the UN General Secretary say? With the era of global warming is over, we are now in the era of global boiling.
Boiling, Joey.
Boiling. Yeah, but it's interesting. These folks who go to Davos or the UN and all this stuff, that they're guzzling all sorts of fossil fuels.
No, they usually take a train or a solar-powered plane and things like that to get there.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they're maybe full of crap. And they like the idea of being able to tell others what to do, but because we're the ones leading this effort, then we have to have whatever tools at our disposal.
Whatever we need.
Whatever we need to get the job done. It's kind of like the other equity pushes out there. Like what we need in order to create equal outcomes is to give people unequal power to enforce equal outcomes.
Oh.
It's almost like no matter what you do in life, somebody's going to be on top.
Pretty much.
You can pretend like everybody's, well, we're just going for equality. It seems like you're more, what's that line? Some animals are more equal than others?
I believe that's the case.
Yeah, and they just change the rules when it suits them.
Yeah.
As I said earlier in the week, it's people in D.C. Everyday people use language to what? Communicate. The best politicians and folks that run the power centers, well, they use language to manipulate. And yet people still take them literally. 272-9228. This part of the program brought to you by Bo Goodson and the Goodson Group. I think we're going to have Jeff Deist calling in here.
Excellent.
Soon. But Bo and the team there at the Goodson Group, they can help you, well, whether you're looking to buy or sell or have that property managed here in the River Region. Bo has a truly unique understanding of the River Region real estate market. He's been doing it for 4+ decades. So if you are looking to buy, if you are looking to sell, or if you're looking to have that rental investment managed for you, which is a great thing. For a reasonable fee, the Goodson Group can do that. If you do it yourself, you can, but it's like a whole other job. It really is a pain in the butt to manage that property yourself. The Goodson Group can take that weight off your back for a reasonable fee. And then Bo's experience, that 40+ years, really comes into play at the Bo Goodson Real Estate School, one of the most highly acclaimed programs in the state because, well, so many folks, whether it's licensed realtors or as more knowledgeable private players, have gone on and found great success after taking Bo's Real Estate School. Very interactive course and a lot of back and forth, and you can learn from that 40+ years all sorts of scenarios Bo's been through, and you can learn the lessons from it. So check them out today. You can always go to thegoodsongroup.com. That's thegoodsongroup.com, or give them a call at 551-0225. That's 551-0225. Bo Goodson and the Goodson Group. Great sponsor here of News and Views in the afternoon. We'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. The Supreme Court allowing construction to resume on a contested natural gas pipeline that's being built through Virginia and West Virginia. Work on the Mountain Valley Pipeline has been blocked by the Federal Appeals Court in Richmond. That was even after Congress included the project's approval as part of the bipartisan bill increasing the debt ceiling. After the Fed raised interest rates, the European Central Bank followed suit for the 9th straight time in its year-long campaign to stamp out painfully high inflation. LeBron James says his family is safe and healthy 3 days after his eldest son, Bronny, went into cardiac arrest. Bronny James spent only a brief time in intensive care, a positive sign for his long-term recovery. The Dow is down 138 points, the Nasdaq losing 19. This is SRN News.
Recent bank failures are serving as a warning about how fragile our banking system really is. As millions of Americans panic, do you know what central banks are doing? Well, they're actually buying up gold at record levels. They're relying on it as a safe haven during these difficult times. That's how confident they are in the dollar. Hi, I'm Lance Wallnow, Christian author and evangelical leader to millions of people just like you. We're all Americans who want to protect our family's savings no matter what. I tell people the best option is to diversify their 401k or IRA into physical gold or silver with the help of Birch Gold Group. To see how it works, just text the word FAITH to the number 989898 to get a free information kit on gold IRAs. Look, there's no strings attached. It's not going to hurt you to take action now. So take the first step today and educate yourself. Get your free info kit when you text FAITH to 989898 right now. And I pray you and your family are greatly blessed.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network, brought to you by Alabama Wholesale Lumber. Alabama Wholesale Lumber, the best quality building materials in the river region for decades. From common builds to special orders and local delivery. Call Alabama Wholesale Lumber.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Hi, everybody. Our extended heat wave rolls on not only through the end of July, but at least the first week in August. Triple-digit heat indices, minimal rain chances. Today's high temperature around 98 with the heat index 102 to 105. Abundant sunshine, rain chances 20% or less today and Friday. The actual high temperature on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday will be in the upper 90s with a heat index as high as 105. That's the danger range. Widely scattered pop-up storms here and there Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but they will be isolated. That means not many to go around. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Web Bobo with Capital Tractor. It's that time of year. Time to make the most of your property with help from Kubota. From Kubota's versatile L2501 compact tractor to the M7060 for larger acreage with matching implements in stock. Capital Tractor, Montgomery, Brundage, and Greenville.
1819 News.
Orange Beach Mayor Tony Kennan says his support of country singer Jason Aldean and his song Try That in a Small Town is also a way to push back at the cancel culture that is out there. Mayor Tony Kennan spoke with 1819 News editor-in-chief Jeff Poore on FM Talk 1065 Automobile about how conservatives need to stop being weak.
Because if you think about it, there's a minority of individuals that have created this, but the problem is they've got the strength of the university system, which, by the way, for the most part should be defunded, and then they have the strength of the media, which is no different from the propagandists of any other state-run media in history, and that's where the strength comes from. But we do nothing and are taking no actions to counter that strength. I mean, even just as simple as that, you'll never see me at Disney World. You will never see me watching mainstream TV, because that's the only thing as an individual I can do, but they won't ever get $1 of my money, because that's me giving them money to turn right around and try to take my freedom away, my children's freedom away, and their grandchildren. It just blows my mind that conservatives are so weak, and we really are. We are weak, and we better find a backbone, buddy. We better find a backbone.
I'll be back with more Alabama stories after this.
Covenant Rescue Group seeks to directly support organizations and agencies that are fighting the global battle against human trafficking. They do this through funding, procuring, and advocating. You can go to covenantrescue.org for further details. They need your donations, guys. Hop on and donate.
Things are getting underway in Alabama for students returning to school. In Tuscaloosa, there will be a drive-through for school supplies and backpacks. The event is being hosted by the Parents Resource Institute for Drug Education and will take place today at the Tuscaloosa River Market. I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
Here we have one of nature's most volatile environments, the bathroom. This often dry landscape will occasionally see immense floods. No one truly knows the cause.
Waterproof flooring for your great indoors. Get it at Flooring America, where friends send friends.
Looking to freshen up your house? Come see your local flooring and countertop experts. Carol's Carpet Flooring America has everything for your kid-proof, pet-proof, and waterproof needs. Mention code BABY to receive a special discount.
What's your biggest investment? More than likely, it's your home. So treat it that way when you hire a painting contractor. With PBS Painting, there are no gimmicks, no $99 specials. Just quality painting and someone who treats your home with the same respect that you do. At PBS Painting, we have been painting for years and look forward to many more years to come. With PBS Painting, the job gets prepped properly, whether it's cleaning, scraping, or priming. We always use quality products, which is a must for a quality paint job. So if you're looking for a painter that doesn't need upfront money and is on the job at all times, then please give me a call. Scott Bowers and PBS Painting, 294-5122. That's PBS Painting, 294-5122. Look at some of our work on Facebook at PBS Painting Montgomery.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. I'm your host, Joey Clark. And, well, now we have on the phone Jeff Deist. Great to have him back on the show. Jeff, how are you this afternoon?
I'm fantastic, Joey. How are you?
Doing quite well. And for folks who don't know, you've long been in the political, let's say, liberty movement, the Ron Paul revolution. I mean, how would you describe your political career?
Anti-politics. Ooh. That's how I would describe it, Joey.
This is why we get along.
The world should be less organized around politics. How's that?
Well, and I just had this general question come to my mind. I don't mean it to be a curveball, but how do you think the so-called liberty movement is doing these days?
Well, I think it's in big trouble. I think America is far more illiberal than it was 10 or 20 years ago, in my view. I mean, look, we have just an unbelievably corrupt government that's not even trying to hide it. And there's a real crossover between government and media, between government and social media. I mean, yesterday, for example, we had the president's son, who's involved in business dealings with foreign governments, foreign powers, and his father, go into a courthouse to obtain a sweetheart deal on some fairly minor charges, potentially felony gun charge, but it's just an absolute slap in the face to anyone's sense of fair or impartial justice. I mean, it's clear that it's being done on behalf of the president's kid. And on top of that, a partner from Latham and Watkins, which is one of the big white shoe law firms in this country, called into the courthouse and pretended to be a lawyer for the other side, wanting the court clerk to remove some testimony that had been, or some verbiage that had been sent over by a House committee against Hunter Biden's case. And I mean, all of this goes completely unexamined by the mainstream media. You have to go to social media to find out anything about it. And if this were Trump's kid, I mean, this would be investigated like Watergate. It really is something. That's just an example. And, what happens in our current political system is exceedingly minor news stories get blown wildly out of proportion to spin a narrative that is set by the mainstream players, and then huge stories like Hunter Biden's lawyer yesterday just go basically totally unremarked. So to me, that is a form of tyranny.
I hear you. I think I described, Eddie, you can attest to this, I described regular partisan politics as one part WWE wrestling, all the kayfabe, and then another part essentially porn.
Yes.
And it's not exactly it's not a real experience. It's almost like we're virtually playing politics, but people feel like they're powerful, but they're sort of corralled into a certain lane. And half the time, the saddest part is they don't even know it.
Yes, there's a very deep unreality to it all. And it makes, I think, ordinary people feel powerless, but also it makes ordinary people feel anxious, like something is wrong in the country. And, of course, people always feel this way. This isn't new. But there's something's wrong in the country, but it's rigged. It's fixed in a way that they don't have any say in it. And I think that is how you get Trump, for example, right? Average people say, look, I'm going to vote for this crazy guy because he seems to be saying up yours. And we're seeing this in Europe. We've seen this in a few different countries in Europe with populist uprisings. When people feel disenfranchised, when people feel especially like they're getting poorer. And despite what the White House is telling us about Bidenomics, and despite, in my opinion, what Jerome Powell was telling us yesterday at the Fed, I think the economy is far worse than advertised. I think there's a lot of unease as a result.
Yeah, and I was going to ask you about that. With the 22-year high on interest rates, you've got this massive inversion of the yield curve that signals a massive downfall coming. And yet the headlines today are, well, look, GDP growth's better than everybody expected. I mean, how do you make heads or tails of the Bidenomics spin that's coming out right now?
Well, I think a lot of this is still being juiced by the fiscal stimulus that was created over the last few years due to COVID. So some of this, I think, is still lagging. More importantly, I don't look at GDP numbers because those include, for example, government spending.
Right.
You can increase government spending through debt. If I go out and get a new credit card that has a $10,000 limit on it, and I go buy a big screen TV or something, well, I've added to the economy, but I've done so in an artificial way. And I'm going to have to pay that back with interest, presumably. And so I think if we look at actual production numbers, I'd like to look at managerial production numbers that the National Bureau of Economic Research puts out. I think those numbers tell a very different story. We still have a banking crisis in this country. We had PacWest Bank basically announced that they were being rescued yesterday at a price below their actual book value. I think there's still some bank failures out there. I think there's still some bank consolidation out there, but which is scary for depositors. But this housing thing, we have people getting 7-8% mortgages, and what that means is that, let's say, a modest home of $300,000, and I'm afraid that's a modest home for the most part today. A few years ago, during the teeth of COVID, you could get with decent credit, you could get a mortgage just below 3%.
Right.
And at 8%, that means that the monthly payment on that same $300,000 house is more than double.
Yep.
So that's what a lot of people really look at is monthly payments. And what I don't understand, apart from interest rate, is why a country this vast, with all the technological advancements in building materials, some people look down on them, but some of these manufactured or mobile homes, for example, are now just great. They're fantastic. They're almost plug and play. They're modular. You put them together. You come install AC. You put in plumbing. You put in electricity, and you can purchase one of these homes oftentimes for well south of $100,000, maybe a $20,000 tract of land, and boom, you have a new, modest, perhaps home for a younger person or a young couple where they can actually get out of renting for $120,000. This isn't rocket science. We could be doing this all over the country if we just got out of our own way with zoning, for example, and even at 8%. If a young person made $30,000 or $40,000 a year, they could buy that home, rationally. But we have a whole generation, and perhaps now a second generation, the millennials and the Zoomers behind them. Let's say 40-somethings and 20-somethings, who are I won't say priced out of homes because there's obviously people who make a lot of money and can buy a house, but who are facing something that their boomer parents and their greatest generation grandparents never faced, which was this whipsaw of, in my opinion, artificially increased housing prices through all kinds of, through not only Fed machinations, but just through the stupidity of state and local governments when it comes to allowing new housing stock to be built.
Yep.
And then interest rates, which are basically as high as they have been since the early 80s in this country. And that's just a terrible timing for young people who come of age against these two factors. So, we're not doing them any favors by having Jerome Powell say, well, we need to look at interest rates every couple months. We need to get Jerome Powell and company, I think, out of the way.
There you go.
Well, and to your point, I don't know if you caught much of the actual sit-down interview between, of all people, Ice Cube and Tucker Carlson. But at one point, this is how bad it is in California, in Southern California. Ice Cube said his father bought the house that his dad still lived in South Compton for like 40-something grand in the 60s.
Sure.
And that house is now worth, in South Compton, over $600,000. It's astounding.
Right. And what that means is, no offense to Compton, but in a lower middle class or even poor area, that a person making $100,000 in Southern California cannot rationally buy that home because it's 6 times income.
Right.
And we know from mortgage default statistics, we know this unequivocally. When people put down 20%, preferably that they saved up themselves rather than got from mom and dad, and when they borrow no more than 3 or maximum 4 times their annual income, which would suggest $300,000 to $400,000 for someone making $100,000, that the rate of default goes wildly down. Okay, because they will actually, with that down payment, they will take all kinds of steps, like get a second job or get a roommate or do whatever they have to do to keep making those mortgage payments, as opposed to just walking away from it. But when you get into, like we had in that really 06, 07, 08 run up to the great financial crisis, when you had people buying homes for many multiples of their income, liar loans they called them. You had $40,000 people buying $400,000 houses, multiples of them. Then we know exactly what happens when the economy just gets a little bit shaky. So I really think it's time for a home ownership revolution in this country, because what we know apart from the dollars and cents is that homeowners create roots. They dig in the neighborhoods a little deeper. They care more about the schools. They care more about the city services. They care more about the parks. And they're somewhat less transient than renters, and all of those things are good and healthy for not only themselves but the people around them.
But and it's one thing when folks point to the corruption. I got another example: the corruption at the top. But I like how you're tying it into everyday people and how much, pardon me, folks, it screws the everyday person over, even when the everyday person is doing everything right. The system is very much a rigged one. Yeah. And sometimes I think it is rigged by design. And here's another example of corruption at the top. You started with the Hunter Biden example. In one way, I'm seeing what Gary Gensler of the SEC is coming out and saying that crypto is a highly speculative security with a lot of fraud built in, and fraud in that industry. Okay. Then I see another headline that the Department of Justice has dropped campaign finance charges against Sam Bankman-Fried.
Right.
So, okay, I admit I've been around the crypto space a while now. There's a lot of fraudsters out there, but this is the ultimate fraudster. It looks like this guy's kind of getting a pass.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's interesting. And part of that, which goes unremarked, is that in order to extradite him from the Bahamas, the Justice Department had to agree to only pursuing certain charges that existed at the time and that the Bahamian government would accept. So the Justice Department was looking so bad when Sam Bankman-Fried was still free and basically living in some big mansion in the Bahamas, and people were capturing on video, like going to the grocery. It's sort of this scofflaw outside of the grasp of the United States. I think from a PR perspective, they panicked a little bit, and they acted too quickly.
Yep.
And they wanted so badly to extradite him and show their power over him that they had to agree to some things with the Bahamian government that are now biting them. But look, FTX was basically a giant way to launder political contributions. The banking portion of it was a sideline business. What people were really doing was skirting the personal contribution limits on what you can give to candidates by washing them through Sam and his bank. And, he might almost come out of this like, one of those young kids who hacks, I guess he's not that young, but when, one of those young kids who hacks into the federal government's database and goes to prison for a while, but when he comes out, they're like, hey, do you want to work for us?
Right. Exactly. Right.
I mean, that's how I see this kid. And apparently, his parents have a couple of nickels to rub together as well. So that never hurts in terms of a soft landing after a couple of probably unpleasant weeks in a jail in the Bahamas.
Yeah, kid, if you seem to have a proclivity to want to commit fraud on a mass scale, do it legally.
Right.
Join the government.
we've got some opportunities for a bright young man like you.
Folks, we've been talking to Jeff Deist. You're currently with Monetary Metals. You're the general counsel there for Monetary Metals?
I am indeed. We are a company that leases and finances bonds in using precious metals, and we do this all over the world, and we just inked a big deal with a refiner in Istanbul, Turkey. So it's interesting business.
Well, congratulations on that. But before I let you go, let's do kind of a fun lightning round with all the presidential politicking. The insurgent campaigns really do have my eye, the folks rising. So I'll just throw out a few names, see what your reaction is. RFK Jr., what do you think of this guy?
He doesn't hate my guts.
There you go.
Which distinguishes him in and of itself from most of the candidates.
Do you think it's a good thing he's pushing so much, like, we want to work you like that he's actually trying to persuade, he's not just trying to mobilize his tribe?
Absolutely.
Right. That's why I'll be voting for him on Super Tuesday in the Democrat primary. First time voting for a Democrat, might as well be a Kennedy. But another guy, if I was voting in the GOP primary on Super Tuesday, that's really caught my eye is this Vivek Ramaswamy. What say you about him?
Don't like him. He earned his money in some kind of slimy ways, and I think he's just trying to get his name out there and maybe be a cabinet position or whatever. Plus, he's a vegetarian.
I did see that making the rounds. And, I find his approach impressive and some of what he's suggesting about shutting down certain departments. But, yeah, I think he is slick.
You're going to hold the vegan thing over his head?
No, the vegetarian.
Indeed.
Yeah. We can do
100%
that.
I am.
Okay.
Well, it's not really insurgent, but I'll just put it more straightforward. Ron DeSantis, how do you think he's doing?
Stay as governor, create the Florida Republic. I don't think he plays well outside Florida at all.
And it almost seems like, I don't know if you saw that one cringeworthy video where it was a bunch of DeSantis memes, but it ended with literally jackboot marching soldiers with, the Nazi black sun spinning in the background? Like this, and this is a staffer for the campaign. I think that might be sabotage. Am I off base?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't seem like DeSantis, but he's... both him and Ramaswamy want to talk about woke and make that a centerpiece of their campaigns, and I get that. But again, that's it's pretty limiting, and I don't think I just don't think he plays well, even with the Republican primary voters outside of Florida.
Yeah, and I'm trying to think, Cornel West?
Well, he's kind of a literary guy in his background,
right.
And he seems interesting. Whenever I would used to see him back in the day on Crossfire, one of those shows, I mean, he's been around. He's an older gentleman. I always thought he was interesting, and he wasn't. Maybe his predecessor. Some of your listeners will be old enough to know the name James Baldwin.
Yeah.
Maybe he's sort of the heir to him. And when it comes to black grievance politics, he somehow does it in a likable fashion. It's hard to describe.
Well, he is. I've liked him for years. I think the reason I do like him, or at least one of the reasons, is he does this great mix of high and so-called low culture, pop culture, and it seems like even though he is playing into that grievance, he's not. He's embracing the Western canon often. He's often citing the works of Western literature and philosophy. He's not running away from them. And I guess I'll take that all day, every day, even if you disagree at the end.
Yes.
Marianne Williamson.
I don't know much about her. I know she is into astrology and New Age stuff.
Cool.
And the left thinks economics is astrology for white guys. So I mean, we have to understand that. I liked Jill Stein a lot more. She doesn't seem to be around. I mean, she's run on, I believe, either the Green or the Peace and Freedom Party. So I guess Marianne runs as a Democrat. But I like her. She seems like a good egg. And again, some of this is just that the baby boomer generation doesn't quite have the same vitriol in its politics as the younger generations.
Right. Well, so, and final question on this, we'll just run around presidential politics. Do you think at the end of the day it's going to be Biden against Trump, and we're getting this rematch of 2020?
Oh, I hope not. My suspicion is that Biden will be supplanted, maybe by Michelle Obama. That's Roger Stone's plausible theory.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Trump, I'm sure that the Democrats would like Trump to be the candidate, and I think that's part of the reason behind these indictments of him is to try to gin up support for him, because they think, and correctly in my view, that he'd be the easiest one to beat. But I do know that no matter what the vote numbers are, no matter what happens, the powers that be in this country will never allow Donald Trump to enter office again. I guarantee you that much, whether they have to go with the 14th Amendment, whether they have to go with that particular federal statute that prohibits a convicted felon. I mean, there's a lot of ways they go after it, or just have him languishing in jail. But there's no way that Donald Trump will ever be allowed to go to the podium in January of 2025 and be sworn in as president. Guaranteed.
Well, Jeff, I always appreciate your time, love our discussions, and let's do it again soon. Appreciate it, sir.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys.
See you, Jeff.
And that's Jeff Deist. He is the general counsel of Monetary Metals. Great company, and I like that breakthrough they got just with in Turkey there. And, of course, he was the president of the Mises Institute there in Auburn, Alabama for years. I think for a while served as chief of staff for Dr. Ron Paul, then Congressman Ron Paul. So
nice resume.
Yeah, he knows how D.C. works. He spent plenty of time up there, though that office ran completely different than most congressional offices. They actually saw their goal as sort of an education campaign.
Really?
They realized that we're not going to get legislation passed.
Right.
Like, we're not.
Might as well make the best of what we got.
Democrats and Republicans, especially at that time, are just not libertarian and in the mood to do libertarian things. So, but they did some pretty interesting things, especially those classic hearings with Ben Bernanke and Ron Paul leading the committee, and Ron Paul holding up gold coins, going, "Is this money?" And like Bernanke and him just had this love-hate relationship that was always fun to watch.
I'm glad it's over.
272-9228. This part of the program brought to you by XI Repair. And you, it's a shame you missed Friday because Jonathan Strange stopped.
I know. I got to listen to part of that too, and Jonathan's kind of helped me out with my drone crash and things like that. I love Jonathan. He's a great guy. We're going to end up in Jamaica together. Whether you go or not, me and Jonathan and our wives have already planned a trip for next year. We hope you go. If you don't, so be it. We'll just send you photos.
Do I need a passport?
Yes.
Okay, I'll get it then.
Yes.
Wait, you want me to have a fifth wheel?
Well, we need someone to handle the baggage.
Well,
got a lot of baggage, Joey.
You take the blood, I'll get the one with the tubing. But XI Repair, of course, folks, can help you with all those smartphone repairs, cracked screen, water damage, maybe your battery's not holding a charge.
Or maybe you caught a virus. That's going around a lot, especially with cell phones again.
Or it could be you got a dirty port.
Oh, that happens, Joe.
Yeah, so you're like, man, this is broken. It won't connect to the charge. It's probably because you got a dirty port.
And that's pretty easy fix, too, right?
Yeah, they can clean it out. They cleaned out my port. And actually, the thing we're filming with, they fixed it up. It's an old iPhone 10. That's what we're using to do some of this videoing. And I thank XI Repair for making that a reality.
Definitely.
Of course, they can also help you with laptop, desktop computer repairs, top-end gaming consoles like a PlayStation 5. They can even do data recovery. Say you're getting a divorce or a bad business deal, people try to delete incriminating information. XI Repair can recover it. It could be you just accidentally delete a big project and didn't have it backed up.
You lost a contract in your stuff somewhere.
Right?
Yeah.
And they can also sell you brand new smartphones at incredible prices, folks. Yeah. So check them out today. That's XI Repair. You can always go to xirepair.com, the letter X, the letter I, repair.com, or give them a call at 777-1234. That's 777-1234. And be sure to tell those fine folks there at XI Repair that Joey and Eddie from News and Views sent you. More News and Views, well, after this.
All right.
Joey Clark.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, But whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Finally, the Toyota store that gives you more. The all-new Toyota of Montgomery is here. With all-new management, all-new team, and all-new great attitude. Get more from your Toyota store. Over 400 new Toyotas are coming in hot and filling up our lot. Get your favorite new Toyota model, like the 2023 Toyota Camry, Corolla, RAV4, Highlander, Tacoma, Tundra, and more. All with our lowest grand opening prices and biggest grand opening savings right now. And come see how our new team is committed to serve Montgomery and give you the best service in the River region. And we'll always pay you more money for your trade-in. Find out how much and schedule an appraisal online at ToyotaMontgomery.com. You get more. You save more. A lot more. Get your new Toyota today before someone else does. And discover the all-new way to buy a Toyota at Toyota Montgomery. Shop online at ToyotaMontgomery.com.
Hey, this is Benji with Marguerites. The great thing about gold and diamonds is that we can make a ring that you have wore for 20 years look like the day you bought it. For example, if you have a white gold ring or rings that you have worn for some years, you can take it to a jewelry store and they will charge $150 to $250 to re-rhodium, polish, and clean your rings to get that look. You ask, what is rhodium? Rhodium is a very expensive, precious metal that jewelers use to coat white gold rings to make them extremely light, of course, to make them look brand new again. Marguerite has decided to brighten your summer with the complimentary rhodium and polish of your rings. As of today, until August the 5th will be here before you know it. Bring in all your rings at Marguerite's. We will rhodium them at no charge whatsoever. So don't miss out on this great deal, because at Marguerite's, of course, we make it. We really make it. We're open 7 days a week for your convenience. For all your jewelry needs, we are located at 8163 Vaughn Road in the Preparatory Shopping Center. So come see us at Marguerite's. Let us make all your rings look like the day you bought them.
Visit Marguerite's now through August 5th for your complimentary rhodium and polish.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com. This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
Live local talk. The River Region's only 24-hour News Talk FM station. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. This part of the program brought to you by Ashley and her team there at Pest Pro Services.
Great folks over there.
They really are great folks. I mean, you've been working with her now for how many years?
I don't know, 7, 8, 10 years.
Yeah, long before you even got on the radio.
Oh, yeah. And like I said, they take care of my personal stuff as well. I got a call from Zach. I'll call you back, Zach, as soon as I get off the air. These folks are absolutely great. Like I told Zach a week or so ago, this is the problem I got. Tell me what I can do. He went over there, checked it out. He said, okay, this is the plan of action. And we've been on that plan of action. And sure enough, man, those pests are going away.
And that's the best way, I think, to work with Pest Pro Services, create that plan of action.
Really
together.
do. And they came up with it. I came to them and said, hey, this is my problem. Help me fix it. They said, okay, Eddie, this is what we're going to do.
And, of course, if you do have a true emergency, like a termite swarm or maybe you just can't stand the mosquitoes anymore outside. Awful. When you're trying to relax, have fun, maybe a pool party. But all sorts of pest problems, Pest Pro Services can take care of.
Fire ants, Joey?
Yeah, subterranean yellow jackets. Especially if you got dogs getting bit by all those things outside. Yeah, Pest Pro come take care of it for you. You can always call them at 265-9990. That number is 265-9990. You can also go to ppsriverregion.com or just search Pest Pro Services on the Book of Faces. When you want to know, call a pro, Pest Pro Services. And be sure to tell Ashley and the team there that, well, Joey and Eddie from News and Views sent you. Let's go to Papa B.
Papa B.
Papa B. Yeah, good to hear Eddie back in the saddle, riding the pony.
Or something back,
like
baby.
that. Again.
Honestly, I don't like that imagery. Please never say anything like that again.
Ride that pony, ride that.
Please stop it.
My bad.
Yeah. Hey, it's come to my attention since you've been talking about your dad that he and I are pretty much the same age. I was born in 61.
Yeah, there you go.
So, does this mean like I'm a father figure to you, Joey?
Oh, I don't know if we want to go
Isn't there a George
that
Michael
far.
song about that?
Oh, now that is the worst image.
To be a moment between us.
No, but then Eddie, I was winding up to it. I can't just say yes and be so too eager. And then all of a sudden you've got to inject George Michael into this conversation.
I don't even know where that came from.
Put your tiny hand in mine. No, he is not a father figure. Then
he don't want to be a father figure.
Who's your daddy? I hear a lot. Talk from time to time. There's a guy down in so and so that looks just like you, and there's a guy over here that looks just like you. And they're like, there's a lot of folks down in South Central Alabama that look like me. What can I say? I was a Rolling Stone, brother. So anyway, with the Democrats, one of the things that they're really good at is this whole. I can't remember the exact title of the book and all, but they follow a plan. And that is, they identify the target, and then they isolate the target, and then they destroy the target. Mm-hmm. Okay, it's rules for radicals. That's what it was.
Yeah, Saul Alinsky.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean they've been doing it forever, and the Republicans have just don't know how to fight back, won't fight back, doing it forever. One thing that has gone on, though, of late, and especially with Donald Trump, is he's kind of taking a page out of their book, and he's wearing them out with it. Now, whether by accident or, by plan, it might be that the Democrats kind of making their own sauce there in this cooker. But it's happening. They are being identified and isolated, and it's starting to... the pot's starting to cook. So I like that.
Right.
I don't know if you've noticed that or not. Have you?
No, I have. I'm tracking right with you. It's a weird time. And like I was saying yesterday, something's got to give, and it could go very bad. But people need to get ready for something has to give. And so you can make it go in a better direction, to put it simply.
Yeah. I mean, I'd just say that, the ability to... what's it called? Branding and marketing. That's something that Trump was awful good at.
He was.
And, he's continuing on. That's something that many of the other, in fact, I don't even know another politician on the Republican side that does it. With this whole business of Trump, Hunter Biden, the apparent crimes that have been committed by him and his family, coming to light more and more, you'd think that the Republicans would start maybe saying something about it, but I don't see the leadership saying anything about it. I wonder if they're compromised too.
You think?
Is what I'm thinking.
Me too.
So anyway, lots of fun to watch if you're a political junkie like me. Also, very scary. Because I think, the folks that are getting in more and more trouble are apt to get us in trouble to try to cover up for their crimes. So, yeah, looking at it that way, Joey, I think you're right. It's kind of something to be concerned about. But
yeah,
anyway.
and a line that always sticks in my mind is an old Ayn Rand one, mistakes of this magnitude are not made innocently.
Yeah.
Right.
You're just showing off now. That's all. You're just showing off.
Still want to be my father figure?
I am.
Put your tiny hand in his.
Shut up, Eddie. Shut up. I
You're
appreciate the
doing
call,
a
Papa
good
V.
job. Yeah. All right.
272-9228. Seriously, shut up when you're talking to
What,
me.
you don't like Michael Jordan? You don't like him? All of a sudden, Wham has a big thing on Netflix.
George
I started watching
Michael?
it. Yeah, I started watching it the other day. Pretty good, Joey. You might get emotional.
Name a few George Michael / Wham songs. Go.
Like Careless Whisper, Wake Me Up Before You Go Go.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, the whole daddy thing.
You're missing one.
What?
Last Christmas.
That's a really good one, too.
It is a good one.
That
video is classic.
Just the first three, you hear it coming in, you know exactly what it is.
Were you a romantic growing up? A hopeless
very much
romantic?
so, yeah.
Likewise.
And it's just burned me every time.
Right, and it's like that old Carlin line, scratch a cynic, you'll find a disappointed idealist.
Yes.
Yeah, but at least we're not bitter about it.
Bitter party of two.
272-9228. For this break, I want to share one more video because, all the woke issues are all the rage.
Right
And
now,
you heard
yes,
how
sir.
Jeff Deist is like, I think this is not the way, actually, to go. Some folks are making the argument, no, the culture war is the fight you must run towards.
Okay.
But in particular, on the issue of race, I must admit, folks, I wish folks would just stop talking about it. Well, it'd be convenient for you, Whitey. Yeah, okay. I can hear where you're coming from. But I don't think it serves anybody well. At the end of the day, it's like, what's your goal? What would you want to go to when it comes to race relations, Joey? And what I've always said is, well, there'll always be race and different cultures, and probably there's going to be Chinatown or where the Brazilian immigrants are. Here's the black side of town. Here's the uppity white side of town. Yeah, I mean, you're always going to have different folks. And, hey, if you want to mix together, cool. I'm down with that, too. But I would think the ideal in terms of race relations would be that race is about as important as your sign, as your astrological sign. You might have one. You're born on a certain date, right?
I'm Libra, baby.
Sagittarius.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. But that would be, I think, ideal. It's like, it's a thing about you. Could even be interesting. You could import more meaning to it than
If you
others.
want to.
If you want to.
Yeah.
But it shouldn't be like the driving force of political conversation. That and so many other of these identity categories. I think the live and let live, be empathetic ethos would lead you to a place where you do see somebody for their individual merit.
What we were supposed to be doing.
For what they've accomplished in life.
Been told our whole lives. Ignore
Right.
the color.
But one thing that was fascinating is, of all people, Tucker Carlson sat down with Ice Cube. And
What?
of course, Cube was on like the outs for talking to Trump and other right-wingers
Remember that?
and stuff.
You remember that, Joey?
Oh, yeah. And he doesn't back down. Like,
No,
his
what's
Twitter
Ice Cube,
is
baby?
him just calling somebody bitch.
Right,
Like,
that's Ice
he's going hard in the paint back at folks. And I appreciate that. But if you listen to this one clip, it was like a 25-minute interview. It's on the Twitter. They did one where they're kind of driving around his old neighborhood and talking and showing where he grew up and all that. Then they did a sit-down in the studio. So about a 25-minute interview. And this one point in it, I think is fascinating. And this is actually, I think, the right way to go about things. That we're caught arguing over shadows on the wall of the cave instead of actually seeing the light.
Interesting.
And climbing out to the world, how wide the world can be. So let's listen in. This is Tucker Carlson with Ice Cube.
We've been talking almost all day now. You haven't mentioned race a single time. You've mentioned economics, rich and poor, a number of times. Do you think that we overplay the role of racial conflict in American life?
Yes. I think race, it takes up too much space. There's people that we all have in our lives who are same race that we can't stand. And there's people in our lives from other races that we get along with way better. So
True.
It's not about race. It's not about color and gender and this and that. It's about who do you connect with? You know, who do you vibrate with? You know what I mean?
I
Who's
do.
on the same wavelength? Who wants to be the same kind of person? Who wants to do the right thing when you want to do the right thing? That's who you connect with. So I think a lot of people make a lot of money off of the racists fighting against each other and bickering. And They the ones who push it in our face all the time that we're separate. And
does feel like there's more of that, doesn't there?
Yeah, it seems like it's like you're stuck in a bad movie and you can't get out. Like you can't find the exit and it continues to play on the screen and you're just running around looking for the exit, and this bad movie continues to just haunt you day by day by day by day. You know, that's what we're caught in.
Yeah, and that's just a portion of that full interview, and I thought it was just really well done. And I appreciate the message being shared there. I mean, this is the right way to go. And maybe it's just folks want to reduce it down to a thing they kind of understand and grasp. But I'm tired of what should be important full conversations. Like people are complicated. It's like, no, let me reduce it down to this thing I can use as either kind of a shield or a cudgel to beat somebody over the head with. And it's not productive. Right. And, well, it's too useful in politics, though, to, I think, go away anytime soon.
It's
People
effective.
Are going to believe what they want to believe.
It's effective, man. I hate it. And we all fall for it. I mean, I'm victims of it. We've all failed for it.
No, I've never been fooled.
Really?
No, I was lying.
Okay. It's going to call you out on something. It was a man, baby.
Oh, I'm not talking about that.
Oh. I thought you know it in general.
I have admitted, folks, I can be tricked. We'll be right back.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Hi there, I'm Kim Williams with Alabama Home Mortgage. For many years, my team and I have worked diligently to provide our veterans with top-notch service, as it is our honor to serve those who have served us in the armed forces. Madeline and I are certified veteran lending specialists. Nationwide, there are over 22 million veterans that qualify to purchase a home through the VA loan program, yet less than 2 million of them currently have a VA home loan. Many lenders do not keep up with the ever-changing guidelines and benefits of the VA loan program. They are intimidated by the program, resulting in many veterans not obtaining VA loans. This is unacceptable. The VA home loan program offers service members and veterans with 100% financing. You've already paid your down payment. If you are currently serving or have honorably discharged, we would love an opportunity to discuss how the VA program can serve you. Give Alabama Home Mortgage a call at 567-4223 or visit us online at myalabamahomemortgage.com to complete an application on your time. Thank you for your service. NMLS 1586-368, Equal Housing Lender.
This is your roving reporter, and today I'm talking with a famous broadcaster.
Hey man, what's happening?
Now, I understand you radio people move a lot, is that correct?
Yeah, sometimes.
Well, how does this affect your taking care of your retirement money?
Oh man, I don't give that a second thought because my buddy David Ernest, he's my money man.
Your money man?
With the money plan.
I see.
So no matter where I go up and down the dial, David has my back, you know?
I'll bet you know some phone numbers our listeners could call to talk with David Ernest.
334-279-7431 or 205-479-0839.
And he has a website at retirewithernest.com.
Hey, you're on top of it today, man.
I also understand that you hold some sort of a record in broadcasting.
Yes. I was the first person to put together a show with myself, a duck, a chicken, and a goose. But it didn't last long. We got taken off the air.
Why were you taken off the air?
Too much foul language, man.
Oh, my.
I wasn't crazy about that one myself.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network, brought to you by Montgomery Paint and Body. From a little fender bender to total body repair, MPB will fix it good as new, maybe better. For over 35 years, the Turner family has been getting you back on the road. Call 279-7325.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. Not much day-to-day change over the next several days in our weather pattern. Rain chances 20% or less through the evening hours tonight and again tomorrow. Low temperature tonight will be in the mid-70s. The high temperature tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday will be in the upper 90s. Heat index as high as 105 each day. Widely scattered pop-up storms Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but they will be isolated, not many around. And very little change next week through the first week of August. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
We're redesigning financial freedom at CB&S Bank. Make purchases at participating stores and restaurants using your CB&S Bank debit card through your mobile devices with Mobile Wallet. Charges and fees may apply from your cellular service provider. Contact your service provider for more information. Member FDIC.
Hey, we're talking to Tammy. Tammy, why does everybody loves Mama's Produce?
Goodness, there's a whole lot of reasons to love Mama's Produce. Produce, we got ice cream. Man, have we got some fresh peas. We've got fresh limas. We've got watermelons, tomatoes. There's a whole lot of reasons to love Mama's. We're at 1154 South Memorial Drive in Prattville. That's about a half a mile south of the Midtown McDonald's, attached to Prattville Farm Center and right across from Kick Enterprise. Yep, we close at 5:30 Monday through Friday and Saturday at 2. Everybody loves Mama's.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
On FM, on your smartphone, and online, the River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Welcome back to News and Views. In the afternoon, I'm your host, Joey Clark. My trusty sidekick, Eddie, is here today.
How you doing, Joey?
Good. And we can jam tomorrow, too?
You bet.
All right.
Tomorrow I got a double day. Yeah, be a busy day. I'm getting up at like 5. I got to go pick up some more railroad ties. You want to pick up some railroad ties with me?
What does that mean?
We're going to go out to the country and pick up some railroad ties and put them in the back of the truck.
You're not making a euphemism? Or
no.
This isn't code for something? This is literally
very heavy railroad ties. I mean, skip the day at the gym, Joey.
How about this? Put me on the bubble. If you really need me, I'll be there.
Gotcha.
JD, how you doing?
Hey, good afternoon, fellas. How are y'all?
Good.
Man, I just wanted to make a couple of quick comments about the dual interview you had played just a minute ago with Ice Cube and Tucker. I find it absolutely amazing that around January, Tucker Carlson starts putting out some really heavy-hitting stuff, and he was calling everything, no holds barred, out.
Yep.
He was calling it out, calling out Richard Nixon, calling out different factions or asking legitimate questions about 9/11.
The JFK assassination.
Yes, everything. And then here we have Ice Cube that in the last couple of weeks, he's been calling some serious people out. I think there's going to be a lot of bombshells that come out from between those two here in the very near future.
Yeah, I think we're seeing a realignment in American politics, and it's a beautiful thing to behold.
I absolutely do. Well, I don't know if you saw it, but, between what's going on in the background with Ice Cube, Dave Chappelle, Cat Williams, and Chris Brown have all kind of started telling the same story.
Really?
And more people are coming. Yes. And this involves everything from Tupac to Biggie to Oprah Winfrey to Quincy Jones, Will Smith, Jamie Foxx. They've been putting a lot of stuff out on blast. So I knew it was only a matter of time. What you just aired a minute ago was the foundation of some of the stuff that's about to come out.
Well, you're making me happy hearing that.
I mean, well, the stuff that Ice Cube was putting out there, I mean, it's it won't be long before people are calling him a conspiracy theorist, and yet he's the one that's lived it. But yes, those two, they're starting to hammer some stuff home real hard in the paint. There's going to be a big, I guess you would call, awakening and a realignment of people that just want the, cut the fat, let's get to the point, and let's solve problems. So kudos to you for airing that interview, man.
Of course. I was impressed when I saw it last night. I appreciate it, JD.
Thank you, guys.
Have a good one.
272-9228. You couldn't get Ray on
Couldn't
the phone?
get Ray. I'm thinking he's with a client.
So this part of the program brought to you by Prattville Carpet.
Definitely.
Normally talk to Ray, but if he's busy, that's a good thing to hear.
I bet he is. Usually when he don't answer the phone, he's got a customer.
I mean, he blames us for being so busy.
Well, does he blame us or give us a little credit, Joe?
I think it's a little both.
Yeah.
You know how I mean it. Like, he loves the business, but, it's still work.
Oh, it's definitely still work. Plus, I don't know if you ever laid carpet. I laid carpet when I was in high school and trying to go to college. It's a tough gig. For someone to be in it this long, that means, for one, he knows what he's doing. He hasn't made everybody mad in the world because he's been in business this long and still doing a really good business. And he don't have no knees left, Joey, because when you lay carpet, your knees are good for about 2 years. Other than that, they're gone. They're shot because you're always on your knees.
See, these are hardworking folks.
These are incredibly hardworking folks.
And they're also trustworthy folks. Say you have a 2-week-long vacation plan.
Oh, yeah.
You can give them the key to the house.
Such a good idea.
And surprise the wife, let's say. Like when you come home from that vacation, hell, honey, look, we've got new hardwood floors. Look at the new carpet. Look at the new laminate floor here in the kitchen. Do you like that luxury vinyl plank, honey?
Mm-hmm.
What about that ceramic tile backsplash
Ooh,
that
in
we
the
had
kitchen?
put in?
Love that.
Prattville Carpet can do all of this. They're trustworthy, folks. They've earned that reputation over the years there. So check them out today. You can always call Ray and his team at 285-8117. Call up and ask about a free in-home consultation, a free in-home measurement, 285-8117. You can also go to PrattvilleCarpet.com or just stop by 2201 Cobbsford Road there in Prattville. And be sure to tell them, well, you heard about them here from Joey and Eddie.
That's right.
On News and Views in the afternoon. No, we're having that nice kumbaya moment, and of course somebody has to come and poop on it.
What?
Duke just messaged me.
What's old Duke say?
Why did you call, Duke?
What'd Duke say?
He said something about you whiteys.
I thought we were crackers.
Ain't worth the thing that left. What?
I thought we were crackers. Now we're whiteys again?
Like, I thought we were getting along, man.
Actually, Joey?
My golly jeepers, Duke, you called me up and let's bury the hatchet, and I promised not to bury it in you.
I got to be honest, Joey. That's how good of friends Duke is with us. That
Yeah,
he can call us that, because honestly, and we do it all the time.
Yeah.
The harder we go at each other, that just shows how much we love each other. But let a third person come in and say something, oh, look out.
Oh, yeah, then it's you never know.
Right.
Well, what did we learn today, Eddie?
Ooh, well, we learned that the DOJ didn't have that judge quite as bought off as they thought they did with the old Hunter Biden deal.
I know.
And I hope to hear that the judge is still feeling well this afternoon, and I hope she's still feeling well tomorrow, because honestly, that's a concern. These people have no shame.
Yeah, don't go paddleboarding near
Right.
Martha's Vineyard.
Jeez.
Yeah. We also learned that the tablers are tilted and the game is rigged, but we've known that for a while, right?
And we also learned that our live streaming doing pretty good.
Yeah. Folks, if you don't know, we are now live streaming the show. You can see Eddie and I. You can see our faces.
A lot of face.
Yeah, we're on the Book of Faces, streaming on my Facebook page, News Talk's Facebook page. On my Twitter, that's at the Joey Clark.
Okay.
And you can also go to YouTube, search Joey Clark, put on a live filter. I'm the guy in the blue suit with the light blue tie there, smiling like a moron. And but like and subscribe on YouTube.
Like and subscribe.
Smash that like button, as they say.
Yeah.
And hit the alert button, too, so you know when we're going live. And I appreciate the folks who have already been watching all the live
Been having a
long
good time
day.
with it.
And this is fun to ramp this up
Yeah.
right as all the presidential politicking gets going.
Faux show.
Well, I appreciate you, Eddie.
Appreciate you, Joey.
Well, y'all stay tuned. Happy Hour with
That's
Greg
right.
Budell. Well, he's next.